What's going on, everybody? What's happening? What's happening? Oh, why is this not showing up the way I'd like it to show up? Oh, okay, we got to do some formatting on here really quickly. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy BOJ, and we are here live. I gotta fix this title. For some reason, it's got the wrong title. Let me go ahead and get that together. Hope everybody's doing well. For those of you that saw my video yesterday, we are going to be going live with our brother Dap Dunbar from the Let's Dap It Up podcast. We don't want anybody to miss it. So we are going to make sure that our live is set up the right way. It says BOJ Live with Dap Dunbar here in the back office. So hopefully that's what's showing to you guys. Let me know what you guys see as the title of this video. We want to make sure that it's BOJ Live with Dap Dunbar, Let's Dap It Up podcast. All right, I want to make sure that that is what is showing up for you guys right now. What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone is having a fantastic Friday. And this is going to be a fantastic live today. We're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about a few different things today. We're also going to leave it open for other people to talk their game in the chat. My guy Lambo Drew was in the building. You already know what's going on, Lambo. What's happening, my brother? Shout out to Lambo Drew. He is doing some amazing things in the YouTube space and has been for quite some time. He has gotten more consistency going down. He's doing videos like 5-6 times a week now. Awesome. Michael Beneby is in the building. Yes, it's straight. We ready. That's good. I'm glad that the title's working well. We've got Dap Dunbar is getting ready to join us today. Of course, some of you may be looking to hear from Dap about a whole lot of things, some Novatech stuff, you know, what his plans are going on right now, what life has been like, what it is being an affiliate in this space, and then having to make some pivots like I think we've all had to have made in this space. This is a very complicated space sometimes, as we all know. But he is a person that I have looked up to for such a long time. He really knows how to build communities. He knows how to teach and educate. And I think that all of us need a little bit of education every now and then. Hey, Lambo, you already know. I'm going to show that appreciation every time, my brother, every single time. You already know. So thank you guys for tuning in. We knew that it was going to be a hot topic thing today to have Dap on. We've got 18 people watching right now. Now, listen, here's what I need 18 people to do. I need 18 people to hit that like button, and I'm going to be the first one to do it, right? I'm going to lead by example. I need 18 people to go ahead and press that like button, all right? We want as many people to not only hit the like button, but to be able to see this video that want to see it, all right? And even after the video is done being live, when it's on the channel and it's able to be viewed by everyone. We want everyone to have that opportunity. So I need to see everybody hitting that like button right now. I'm not even going to bring Dap into the room until I got 10 likes. I'm not even going to waste Dap's time. We got 20 people watching. I'm not even going to waste Dap's time. I'm not going to bring him in the room until we got 10 likes on this video. All right. So y'all make it happen. I know y'all want to hear from Dap. Don Busby says, BOJ, thanks for everything you do, man. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate everyone that still tunes into the channel. It's been up and down. We've talked about a lot of things. We've pivoted, we've moved, we've changed, we've shifted, and you guys are still rocking with your boy. So, hey, I got to take this time to let you guys know how much I appreciate you for watching. Now, if you have not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It won't hurt nothing. You know, I only do like 4 or 5 videos a day, so I'm going to be blowing your phone up. But anyway, Lambo Drew says, man, we got to hear from the horse's mouth, man, because Unlimited Freedom just dropped that video about Dap, and I got to check out the homie. Hey, well, shout out to the man, Unlimited Freedom. I have not checked out the video yet, but it's always better to hear it right from the source. And I've got a great relationship with my brother Dap, and we've talked about, you know, wanting to get in front of some things and also giving him the opportunity to just speak his mind, because he can do that very well on his own. He's a very articulate brother, very smart brother. We got 32 people watching. I don't see this like button going up though. You know what I'm saying? I see 1 like. I might be tripping. Y'all tell me if I'm tripping, dude. Is there more than 1 like down there? Okay, and now I'm seeing, I had to refresh the page real quick. All right, I just refreshed the page. There's 9. So when we get to 10, I'm gonna get my brother Dap in the building. It is 11:59, and I know we said we're gonna get started at 12 noon. All right. Truth Media says, wow, I haven't heard from Dap in a minute. Looking forward to hearing from him. Hey, you're going to hear from him today. As a matter of fact, we want to let you all know that he has a podcast. So those of you that have been continuing to stay up with Dap, you know that Dap is got a podcast coming up called Let's Dap It Up Podcast. All right. And we're going to be looking forward to hearing what his thoughts are about the podcast, starting a podcast and all that great stuff. We're going to be able to hear straight from the horse's mouth today. I'm looking at the Zoom. All right, so I'll wait till he gets in here. But I do believe we have achieved our 10 likes. I'm going to refresh the page just one more time just to make sure. Yep, we got our 10. We've got 14. But now, hey, look, since we got 36 people watching right now, we might as well go ahead and get 20 likes right now, right? We can get 20. IC says, hello, BOJ, sir. Thank you for sharing your journey and inspiring the community, man. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure just to be in front of you guys and to be in you guys' homes on a day-to-day, week to week, month to month, year to year, wherever it is. We are so appreciative to all of you guys. Trajectory of Wealth, my brother says tripping. Hey, who's tripping, bro? We all tripping if we still here, right? we all just a little crazy. We all, but I think it's a little bit crazy to want more out of your life. Some people are real normal and real complacent with where they are. You got to think a little bit outside the box to get some of the things that you really want out of life. So if that's what you mean by tripping, I am tripping, brother. I'm tripping. All right. Lambo Drew says we're at 13 likes, and I think we're at more than that. So shout out to Lambo Drew. Edward Dozier says, looking forward to this. I know a lot of people are. We got 41 people watching right now. We're even going to get a chance to talk about what be what's his name? that MLM dude. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He posted an article. All right. That might have been what Unlimited Freedom did his article on. All right. So it's going to be a great show today. We're looking forward to hear from Dap. It is now 12 noon, and we're getting ready to have Dap come on in. He has the link, and we're going to be getting started soon. D and Robin, give the thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for watching. We've got 40 people watching right now, you guys, and we all know Dap is a popular guy, so he's going to bring out the people. We've got 17 likes, though. I got to see 20. Can I see 20 likes? I promise y'all I'm not fishing for likes. I'm just, I'm killing a little time right now till I see Dap's name show up over here in our Zoom room. All right. Super excited about this call today. I know you guys are as well. A trajectory of, let me go to Lambo Drew says first. Oh, you already know. BOJ with the crispy cut. And listen, this ain't that crispy. I done had to work this cut for at least a week now. I done had a few shows, I done sweat a few times, you know what I'm saying? So when you get to sweating, sometimes your hair starts to shift. So I'm glad it still looks good. I'm glad it still looks good. Trajectory of Wealth says, no, when you say you only had one. Oh. I was like, what's the tripping? Okay. Thank you for clarifying that tripping. I appreciate it. It was only because I had to refresh the page. I guess it's not loading, or maybe I got too many tabs up. Y'all know I got 11 different tabs up at one time, most of the time. Milton Oliveira says, we want at least our initial back. Scammers. Well, listen, here's one of the things that you have to understand in this space, Milton Oliveira. We all take the risk in this space. And if whoever introduced you to this space should have, of course, told you that any one of these platforms that we get in is a risk. Whatever you put in, you're not guaranteed to get back. So if that's not something that you have internalized before you get involved with the platforms, and that's something that you need to internalize. Now, you can want whatever you want back. None of the affiliates or any of the people like that I don't think it's in their power to be able to give you your initial capital back. And that's just the reality of the space. That would have to be something that one of the platforms would decide to do. And since we are not platform owners here, and I can kind of speak for Dap a little bit and say that he's not a platform owner as well, we can't do stuff like that. But without further ado, it is 12:03. We're about to let my brother Dap in the building. I hope all of you are ready. We are now introducing the host of the Dap It Up, or Let's Dap It Up podcast. My good brother, Dap Dunbar, is coming in the room right now. Y'all give it up for BTGI's own Dap Dunbar. Oh, I'm going to turn my original sound on. I can hit that applause button for your boy. Yes, sir. Dap is in the building. What's going on, my brother?
What up? What up? What up?
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Man, I hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Man, I can hear you. I can see you. We both got our headphones on, so I know we're locked in right now. You know, that's what everybody says about me. They say when I put my headphones on, they know I'm locked in. So
Yeah.
we're in the building today. We got a lot of excited people to see you, Dap. A lot of people have missed seeing your face in the space, partly because they just haven't been paying attention. It's not like you've ran away or anything like that. Some people just stopped paying attention. But there's a lot of people that are looking forward to hearing from you today. And I think that you always bring immense value to not only everything that you get involved with, but definitely to this channel, because we are all in a like-minded space. We're all in the kind of crypto passive. We're all in the bit of a motivational space. We're all in that wanting more out of our life space, or at least that's what the leaders are. You know, we're wanting more. And I think that you always bring a great wealth of information and education to the space. So we've got a lot of excited people to hear that want to hear from you today. But for the folks that do not know who Dap Dunbar is, I want to give you the floor right now to kind of just introduce yourself. We've done some introducing of our own just from a personal standpoint. You've been a brother to me, and the people already love you. This is not your first rodeo on BOJ's channel. But for the folks that don't know,
no, it's not.
For the folks that don't know you, go ahead and tell the people who you are.
All right. Well, first and foremost, I appreciate you like always, man. That's why I don't mind always coming on your show. I truly appreciate your candor, your energy, your transparency, and the fact that you're just looking for a better way, an alternative way to truly provide for your family, right? And to create that legacy that we're all looking for. So I truly appreciate that. And you are a man of principle. If people don't already know who you are, they need to go into your social media pages. It's funny because our social media pages are like our footprint, right? It's like our social security number. As a matter of fact, most employers now don't care about your social security number. What they're looking at is how do you live your life? And because we are attached to our phones and we are attached to the World Wide Web, most people really truly show who they are through their social media site. So if you want to learn anything about Mr. Gerald here, or Bank of Gerald, if you know him on his YouTube channel, then all you got to do is visit his personal page and you'll see the true kingdom man and kingdom woman that him and his wife are. So I truly appreciate you for one, standing ground, being a man of faith, being a man of Christ. Let me make that very clear, because so many people talk about God. The problem is, which God are you talking about, right? Because if you believe in the one and only true God, then you know there's only one, and you must say, you know, Elohim or Yahweh or whatever you want to call him, because he knows when you are all about him. And I'm not making this about anything religious, because we love everyone. But we are going to stand for something, because if not, we will fall for anything. And always know that, you know, God is always going to be by your side and protect you, regardless of those that say they're with you and that's not with you, or whatever it may be. So I appreciate you for that, man.
No doubt, my brother. Thank you.
But yeah, man. But who am I? I'm one of 4 children from an amazing Ethiopian woman who married a Liberian man. So I'm one of the few original true African Americans, because both of my parents are born and raised in Africa. My mom came here in her 20s from Ethiopia. My dad came here in his late 20s, probably, late 20s from Liberia. So it's a very unique combination. If you don't know your history of Africa, then just Google and understand Liberia and the impact that Liberia had on Black America here in the United States. And if you want to know about the true first independent country of Africa, then all you have to do is study Ethiopia, and you'll see, like, wow, how did they meet and how did DAP get created? Well, we all know how DAP got created, right? I ain't no test tube baby.
no storks and probably not the Virgin Mary, I'm assuming.
No, not at all. Not at all. So, you know, I was born and raised in Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
Came from really, really independent thinking parents. I was born and raised in a predominantly Black community, African American community in in Miami. However, I was raised of African parents, so I got to see kind of the irony between how Black America operated family at the time that I was growing up, right? And an African family. And as we all know, us growing up, being in our 40s, late 30s, there's some disparity. The media made it where Black America didn't really care to have interest in Africa,
Yeah.
right? Because all people knew about Africa, especially if you were in the Black American culture, was, flies and big stomachs, and, you got to feed the children because,
Yep.
Africa's poor. And so I got a lot of teasing when I was a kid,
Yeah.
because I came from African parents. But what I can say is it made me become a better individual in understanding my own people. And it just made me understand culture. And it also gave me an opportunity to really um, be a great communicator, because even though I'm Black American, I'm Black African American, and I got both, combinations. So
Yeah.
it was very easy for me to kind of be a chameleon, and just really be that energetic, funny, charismatic kid that I was. But at the same time, my father was in business. God rest his soul. He died during COVID,
Yeah.
not from COVID though. Um, and I kind of took that business acumen with me.
Yeah.
Um, and I've gone through real estate during the real estate boom. I've gone through mortgages. I sold timeshare, high-end timeshare in New York City and a little in West Palm Beach um, during the days. And then I got into the insurance space, which I do feel for anybody that truly wants legitimate um, opportunity to build something really, really big. The insurance industry, the financial sector is obviously always a go.
Yeah.
And then during COVID, when everything came to a standstill, while learning through the Forex journey and how to kind of trade on my own, I got into the crypto space.
Yeah.
And I started to follow some people on YouTube that had maybe like, 50, 100,000 subscribers at the time. And, they called themselves the crypto gurus. I won't name any names now, but it really interested me. And I can tell you just from YouTube University itself that it paid off. Just watching people and following exactly what they were doing, understanding the risk versus the reward, even though I lost a lot in the beginning, a
Yeah.
lot. All right. As a matter of fact, I may say not that it was the only factor, but my first marriage, which I thought I would never get divorced because, again, the type of family I came from, the background, the Christian principles. But
Yeah.
sometimes when you're a go-getter, there's sacrifices. Whether temporarily or permanently, that has to happen. And in that crypto space, because I just felt that it was really something that was going to take off, I said I wanted to focus more on that. And that's what I did. And obviously that's how we got together,
Yeah.
right? That's how we met.
That's right.
Um, and it's been a roller coaster, let me just say, of a
Yes.
ride. It's been some extremely high highs and it's been some extremely low lows. But as someone of influence, and people ask me sometimes where I get my influence from, and I get it from the word of God. I've
Yeah.
always been a transparent person. I've never shied away from adversity. And I've always been a person, and this is why you have your channel, right? I've
Yep.
always been a person that wants to see community build. I
That's right.
truly believe that when communities come together, first with like-mindedness, and then obviously with transparency, honesty, and respect, and we can find a platform that's out there, we can truly leverage our energy, our time, our resources, our finances, and we can do some really special things. And that's just kind of the circle that we've been in.
That's right.
And that's what kind of led us to where we are here today in a nutshell. I'm married. I have 6 beautiful children from 4 years old to 24 years old, 3 adults and 3 minors. Um, I live an amazing life for the simple fact that we live pretty simple. I live in the neighborhood that I grew up in. I live right next door to my mom. What a blessing to be
Yes.
able to, live 2 doors down from the house that I grew up in. right? And my mom is there. She gets to see the kids. The kids get to see her. You know, and we get to do, you know, what it is that we do. So that's me
Yeah.
in a nutshell. And you
And
see,
man,
I'm in my studio. You know, listen, I eventually was gonna get like you. Eventually, I had to copy. It took
listen,
a couple years.
you didn't copy. You went to the next level, my brother, and that's what I expected. That's really what I expected. I've always and I'll go a little bit for just a little bit back. I like to tell this story because I always like to say that I knew Dap before he knew me, and we were in. I was attracted to his leadership style, YouTube world. I was attracted to Dap's leadership style when I started hearing his calls back in the days where gifting communities were very popular. And I was attracted to the community economics of that thought process, right? And the
Yeah,
way that you inspired a community, the way that you and it wasn't anything forced. It wasn't you trying to paint this pie in the sky picture. It was reality. And of course, with me having a network marketing background prior to that, there was a lot of things that I really believed in that we could accomplish better as a team than just as an individual, right?
yeah.
And you were preaching those things, and I was like, man, this guy Dap, man, and I know he can't be that much older than me. Like, he's looking like a young guy, and in fact, he's got 6 kids. I'm like, I want 5, and I don't even have a wife yet. Like So just prior to that, this is someone that really inspired me. So for those of you that just think Dap is coming out of nowhere, this is a brother that really is instrumental to me getting my start on YouTube and just having the confidence that I needed to have to be able to do work like this, because it can get as you'll start to see Dap, when it's just you and this camera, bro, it can be a little lonely. It can be a little bit like you're talking to yourself. It can be a little bit like nobody's listening, even though you've got more ears right now than probably ever in your life. It can also feel like it's a very lonely road. So just a word to you, bro. Thank you for the constant encouragement that you've given to me, both on camera, off camera, bro. You mean so much to the space, and I hope that you're getting your flowers every day. I know your family loves you, and I know how much you love your family. And I'll save the other mushy stuff for later. But let's get into.
God will always make room for your gift
That's
as
right.
long as you read his word and you trust in
That's
his
right.
word. You know,
You,
everything that I have done, I've always prayed on it. You know, when you speak about that whole gifting activity back in 2020, that
yeah.
was introduced to me. I didn't create anything. I just
That's
saw
right.
the amazing opportunity for people to come together. But of course, you already know how those things ended, because when you
Right.
bring people together and there is no rule or regulation or formal, way of doing things, then everything good will just destroy itself, because you have
That's
opposition.
that's right.
Anytime you see people coming together, and I'm gonna throw it out there because it is what it is. I'm a
Yeah.
man of Christ, so I don't see color, but at the same time, I am also a black man.
Yep.
And I understand my community, and I understand the evilness that is happening through, through entertainment, through movies,
Yeah.
through music,
Yep.
and I understand the influence that it's having in continuously diminishing a race of people within this country,
That's right.
that is strategically done, and I just think it's very important. While I love and I appreciate and I want to be with everyone, that I
Yeah.
do as much as I can to pour back into the community that I call, my own. So,
That's right. That's right.
and that's what brings us here. It just happens to be that we're in another controversial space because things are shifting, right?
That's
People
right.
looked at us crazy earlier with crypto. Now, our very own institutions are all embedded in crypto,
That's right.
right? It's just that it's still a evolving space, and because it's still unregulated, it makes it the wild, wild west, and that's why
Right.
we're here.
That's right.
We're here because if we were born during the 20s in the gold rush era, guess what? It would have been the same thing minus technology.
That's right.
But people got to do their own reading to understand that this is just a cycle. Technology has incorporated itself along with digital assets, and people that really want to study this space. And of course, like I said, I have a doctorate degree in YouTube University. All right. And that's how I was able to learn this space and learn
Yeah.
about the risk versus the reward. And it's what
Yep.
brings us here. And I think that's why so many people follow us,
That's right.
because they want that education as well. And
That's right.
I'm sure we'll talk more about that,
Yes, matter of fact,
in a second.
We're gonna get into it right now. I know what the people want to hear. I want to check the chat just really quickly just to see if there's anything that's being said in there. You know, a lot of people are gonna have issues with us bringing up God and our religion and different things of that nature, only because they may
Never shy away.
and that's not gonna be me. It's not going to be DAP. So, you know, we always will let people know, hey, look, if that's not for you, then you don't have to watch. This just won't be the broadcast for you. Not that we're going to sit here and thump the Bible over your head, but
no, not at all.
With respect to our beliefs and what has brought us here to this point, we have to give reverence and respect to our God. So that's what we're going to do. So, you know, if you don't like it, if you don't like pastors, you'll have your own personal experiences. You know, that's just things that you have to work on in your own personal life. You just decide when you want to do that. And there's many people that have dealt with that. But anyway, that's getting a little bit off topic, but we're going to do what we do. So those that have a problem, hey, just address it accordingly. But as the topic states, well, first, the first thing I want to really kind of dive into, because I know it's probably going to be the thing that most people want to talk about. So it's just like, let's just rip the Band-Aid off, right? And I want to do this in a way that allows you to speak as freely as you choose to speak, right? We all, or most of us, were knowledgeable about an opportunity that was with us and is no longer with us, called Novatech, right? We have both been...
Novatech?
Oh, yeah, I did say it. I did say it. Oh, is he running? Is he finally running? Is he finally getting out of here? Is he going to Brazil?
Is he going to Dubai?
Going to Costa Rica? You know, listen, I mean, we make light, but we understand that there's a lot of people whose lives were affected by the Novatech opportunity in good ways and in negative ways, and more recently in negative ways. And we're not ones that, and I feel like I can speak for the both of us to say that we're not people that are heartless about the situation. We understand.
Oh, no.
We understand
devastating.
that there was devastating losses that went on, and with the lack of communication, there are some things that we were able to see that kind of shed a light on a future that people did not want to see. And I know that when me and I came out talking about some of the red flags and different things on the way out, there was a lot of people that still held on to hope and belief. And I understand that there's a lot of reasons why people did that, right? So we had to chalk it up as one of those things that the space just, it happens. But we know that there's much more to it. There's much more that went on in behind the scenes that we don't even know. You know, as people that were affiliates, we don't own these companies. We don't own these platforms. So as much as we may speak about our experiences in the public to others, we were in no position to change anything that was happening. So I wanted to say that first, but I wanted to kind of leave it to you. I know that I want to make you a host so that you can be able to go ahead and bring up whatever you'd like to bring up. I know there's some hot topic things going on in the space. I heard one of our friends here on the channel, Unlimited Freedom, did a video, I believe, possibly on the Behind MLM article that came out recently.
Oh, yeah?
And he's and shout out to Unlimited Freedom. I know his heart's in the right place. I haven't seen the video yet, so I know he's a very fiery guy. He's a guy that he has a lot of emotion, but for good reason. He's a passionate person. I do believe that there's a lot of positive qualities in passionate people. So passionate people can also make negative stuff happen too. I don't want to negate that, but I wanted to leave it to you to kind of say what you want to kind of say and get ahead of whatever you want to get ahead right here, because that people want to hear from you about it, and who better to walk through it than to you. So
yeah, no, absolutely. Well, let me say this first, because I see comments about preachers and you know, one of the things about the word of God that people need to understand, and you have to understand that we live in a world where if you put your faith in man, then you're totally misunderstood in understanding what the word is all about.
Mm.
We're going to always be disappointed in man. All right. We are born sinners, all of us.
Yeah.
And a preacher, a reverend, or whatever somebody may want to call themselves does not eliminate them from being sinners. So let's make that very clear. Some
Yeah.
people are anointed in being able to deliver and become a messenger in the word, which allows you to at least have enough interest to go back to the word to verify and to live your life according to the word. So I
Right.
just want to say that for people that always, I mean, there's so many negative stuff about preachers and pastors out there, but if you read the word, then you'll understand what all of that is about anyway.
That's
So
right.
never put your faith and trust in man. And once you don't do that, then you'll be able to sleep easy
Yep.
at night. But yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room real quickly. Let me just first give you guys, because a lot of people, let me tell you, the majority of people have no idea who I am. All right, when it comes to Novatech. The only
Yeah.
reason that they know me from Novatech is because back in January of 2023, when Novatech was really in the midst of their challenges, I made a decision, which I'm not going to say that I regret. It's very few things in life that I regret because everything is a learning experience. And what I've learned about life as I've, you know, grown older and wiser is that every time there's an obstacle placed in front of me, God is always elevating me to another level.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And in another level, there's always another devil that you have to face because, again, going to that next place, as a man of God, and again, this is not about God in any way. What this is telling you guys is how I live my life. And it doesn't really matter what other people say because not one person has ever been able to come to me in my life and say I've taken anything from them,
Yep.
coerced them, manipulated them, or anything like that. Not one person I owe money to. I've always been for the last 3 years completely debt free. If I ever did owe somebody, I made sure to pay them back because that's the first person I pay back before my even creditors, because relationships are the most important thing out there.
That's right.
Um, so let's get that straight. But let me go ahead and let's start back when I joined Novatech, because Novatech was fully all steams ahead. It was a ship that was already sailing.
Boy, it
All
was.
right, let me make that very clear because I joined Novatech in September of 2021.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know the exact number, and this is the crazy part. Everybody throws numbers out there like they know what the number is. I just know that it had to be somewhere between 50 and 100,000 people that were active or used to be active, right? In Novatech when I joined in September of 2021.
Yeah.
I found out about Novatech actually a year before from one of my friends who shared the opportunity with me. And I turned down the opportunity because I thought it was very conservative, right? I
Yep.
was just used to being in a lot of, high yield interest programs. And I was also doing traditional network marketing. But when it came to earning money passively in this money game is what we call it, and I've always called it that, and understanding, I just thought Novatech was very conservative. But what ended up happening is, well, all of those aggressive things just kept on falling.
Yeah.
And as they were falling, we kept hearing, and when I say we, I'm talking about thousands of people, right?
Yep.
We
That's right.
kept hearing this name Novatech.
That's right.
Right. And it just got to the point where I was like, all right, you know what? I got a link from someone and I said, I'm going to go ahead and join Novatech now. Why? Because
Yep.
everything else is slowing down. And we all have a group of community and people that are looking for something else.
That's right.
Right. If I'm not in the crypto space, if God forbid he takes my life today, guess what? There'll be hundreds of thousands of people joining the next crypto platform, network marketing platform, or whatever it may be.
Yep.
It's not going to stop,
Yep. That's right.
right? So anyway, I joined, and I really liked what I saw because, one, it was conservative, and two, through the personal research that I did, which is the same research that anybody else would do, which is I went online, I Googled, I went to sunbiz.org, I looked for their registrations, and more importantly for me, once I saw that, because you know what was rare about Novatech is that they were registered, right? Now, let me make something clear, guys, and I'm gonna be moving fast here. Being registered as a company doesn't make you legal or not legal. It just makes it where you are legally able to do business. The type of business is a whole different story. Right? You can go right now and open an LLC while we're on the phone right now, or we're on the Zoom right now. Right? And it makes your business legitimately able to operate. Now, what you do in the business is a completely different story.
That's right.
Right? So I think all of us did as much research as we can through online, right? And I didn't find holes. Did I find discrepancies? Of course I did, right? But the one discrepancy that I did not see, and I think everybody can attest to this, is that for 2.5 years prior to me joining, I can only speak for me, I can't speak for nobody else, everybody was being rewarded on a weekly basis based off of whatever returns that they were able to produce during the week.
That's right.
I had never seen a program prior to Novatech that had a 2.5 year track record. I went on YouTube. There's some people on here that got YouTube channels from way before us that were tracking Novatech from 2019.
That's a fact.
And what I was able to see was thousands of people that were talking about, hey, this is a life-changing program. Well, the other thing that I found out when I researched it was that the owners were actually in Florida. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, they're right there.
The owners are in Florida? I live in Florida.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm saying to myself, okay, man, I spoke to my wife and I said, baby, I don't know, but I got a good feeling about this, but I gotta be able to speak to the owners because anything and my father has always, I saw it through example. He put his heart into everything that he did. I don't know about you guys out there, but I try to win in everything that I do. That's just how I operate. Some people, that's not how they operate, right? But I'm a winner. Let's just put it that way. I'm like Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba. I'm going to win in everything that I do. So I could not get in touch with the owners for nothing because from my understanding, they did not communicate with a lot of people. Everything they did was through whatever the Zooms and all that stuff was. So what I said to myself, which always works, is I'm going to show by action. And I'm going to try to get on their radar so that way I can really see for myself, are these people real? Are they doing what they're actually saying they're doing? Is there any accountability to be had? I wanted to hear from myself. So I shared the opportunity. All right. And in sharing that opportunity in October of 2021, which was a little over a month and a half to 2 months after I joined. I joined September 11th. I think by October 15th, something like that. I can't remember the exact dates. They had a contest that by November 1st, if you had hit a certain rank, which I think at that time was at least director, you would be able to go on the first leadership yacht dinner, right? Because Novatech had never had a physical get together in June of 2019. We got together that beginning of December. So over 2.5 years. This company had already created, from my understanding, dozens and dozens of millionaires. Tens of thousands of people had taken 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars, whether they recruited someone or they didn't recruit anybody.
That's right.
All right. this is what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, I was able to go on to this cruise. Matter of fact, anybody that saw the boat video
I
that
had
was put
just
out there,
joined. I had just joined in November. So of course seeing that the very next month was like, oh, this is legit. Like they've got a boat cruise. I was hearing, of course, that it was first, and then of course they invited you. I think you can clarify this, but they had invited you, and I think you were just off the mark of reaching whatever the rank was that you were supposed to get. But because you had done so much in such a short span of time, you indeed got on their radar, and they was like, well, we got to have him come out because he seems to be, a shining star in what they had built. And you can tell me if I was wrong about that, but that's what I remember when I first got started, because that was around the time I just got started in November, I believe, that same year.
Yeah,
like, man, he's killing it.
Yeah.
I had been in hypes this whole time, and then I saw this thing called Novatech, and like you said, it seemed conservative for the lane that I was in. We were talking 3-4% a day, let alone 2-3-4%. It wasn't what I was interested in at the time, but go ahead.
No, absolutely. It looks like you're frozen. Can you hear me?
I hear you, and I can see my face moving, but your face isn't moving anymore.
Oh, okay. Your face is not moving, but I can see my face moving. So,
and you can still hear me though, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. So who is it? Nilton, why are you saying that? What you said, that, hey, this is, I don't do this a lot, so this is so fun to me, actually being able to see comments.
Yeah.
Nilton says, Dappis look like he's not sleeping well. See his eyes and lost weight. Let me tell you something, all right? Let me show you how.
My man has 6 kids to feed. And he's out there getting his work in.
Let me tell you something, all right?
He pulled the abs out now.
All right? Listen, I cannot, I have not slept better in the last 4.5 months.
Yep.
And I am on a health journey where me and my wife are listen, I'm 5'8.5", 171 pounds. So if I lost weight, then that means I did a really good job. I want my blood pressure to stay where it needs to, my cholesterol, all of my levels. I look good. All right, what you talking about?
And Nilton knows that. Nilton probably knows you've been at the gym. But I was about to say, like, yo, my man's got 6 kids and a wife. He's allowed to
come on now. Come on now. Come on. Come on now. Let's go. Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
Anyway,
so
you can't give the haters too much time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. Hey, listen, hating is a part of it. Listen, again, when you're going to another level, there's always going to be that. So it's all good. But I don't think Nilton's a hater. She's just noticing what.
And shout out to Nil. Thank you for joining us today, Nil. We appreciate it. We really
do. Yeah. So where was I? So, so that cruise, that 15-minute video, right? That's out there. I took that from my phone. Yep. It was really like 30 minutes, and then I cut it up and chopped it up, got rid of the rest, and put it out there because I was so, after being on a yacht for dinner, seeing 80-something people from all different places, from the UK, from the islands, from the US. None of these people had met each other before.
Yep.
We're all coming together, and I'm able to witness for myself like 80-something people that have life-changing crypto returns. Yep. Remember, I'm the new guy.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that nobody knew who I was until I came on that ship. And and Cynthia and Eddie said, hey, this guy came out of nowhere. He's obviously very motivated, blah, 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 blah. You know, so when I saw all this, and my wife saw it as well, how much more proof, how hard is it to really see that people in this industry, it's really hard to see if people are really fake or if they're real when it comes to saying that they're actually earning crypto profits.
It's a fact. That's a fact.
It's a fact. So I saw it with my own eyes. I'm looking at people's accounts on their phones, and I'm seeing their bank accounts. I'm seeing their crypto.coms and their Coinbases and their Exoduses. And I'm like, yo, thank you, Lord, for bringing an opportunity finally where I can be not just around owners, right? And be able to talk to them to see that they're real, but more importantly, everyday people that they never had success before.
That's right.
Other than their careers that
Right.
they had, right? And we're talking about people from grocery clerks to attorneys and government officials and CEOs and doctors. Like,
Yep.
it was a mixture of everybody.
That's right.
So obviously that turned me on. And
Yep.
once I saw that, I was like, you know what, baby? We got to run with this crypto space because crypto goes up and down.
Yep.
And they are trading from what we have been shared and what has been shown, at least I think in the first 6 or 8 months. I wasn't a part of Novatech then, but everybody that was a part of it said, yeah, Novatech used to show their trades, but it became such a nuisance because with customer service, as you know, if somebody wants to know about why is it up, down, up, down, up, down? Why did I lose money yesterday or 5 minutes ago? It became too much of a hassle for them. So they said, you know what? We don't need to show the actual every day. We'll just show the returns at the end of the week.
Yeah.
Correct. So, so I said to myself, okay, remember, I was a crypto trader myself, a Forex trader myself, right? So I know that earning 3%, 2.5%, 3.5% per week, I have friends that do that on a daily basis.
Yeah.
All right. Like for real, for real. Like
Yeah.
they're multi-millionaires. Now, I don't have the skill set that they do. They took it really serious. They understand it. So when I saw 2.5 to 3.5% a week that this company was delivering off of their past results, I was like, it's a no-brainer. I also went through their terms and agreements. I skated through the entire website.
Yep.
Because I needed to understand what they were doing, even though they weren't showing the trading anymore. And obviously I saw that the information was proprietary. I saw on the website that they could actually invest our money in whatever they chose to invest it in. It didn't even have to be in crypto. It was all in the disclosures.
Yeah. Yep.
And I made sure to educate, my community, right? And when I say my community, I don't own anybody. I'm talking about like-minded people, like having your YouTube channel. And for those that want to follow that, and everything, I made that very clear. And that's why I've had no issues with anybody that I have shared this directly with. Not one person.
That's right.
Why? Because I deliver information in a way that is receptive, but more importantly, I'm not here to sell nobody. I'm here to share with you the experiences that we're having and what we're looking to do. But you got to understand something. Novatech has already said in their information that none of this is guaranteed. As a matter of fact, I've never seen any documentation, nor has anybody shared with me that Novatech made 3% a week. I see so much of that, BOJ, where people said, yeah, they promised 3% a week. Can anybody literally raise their hand right now and show me documentation that that's what it said? Now, if somebody told you that, then that came out their mouth.
There you go. There you go.
But I don't think
people
any
start getting excited about it, and they trying to really build they're being more selfish with their presentation, trying to get people on their team. So they're painting this pie in the sky picture of guarantees and promises that never even came from Novatech.
Absolutely.
I one time heard the CEO or anybody even in that realm say, we're promising you guys this, anything at all.
Never.
So
Never. So
not a profit, not a timetable, not anything. There were no guarantees. So I want to, and I don't want to stop the roll, but I want to go through a couple of these comments just really quickly. One, we have 95 people watching right now. So I want to make sure, and as I hit this refresh button, I need to see at least 80 people like this video right now. And I'm going to tell you guys why, because when you like the video, it helps the algorithm get this to more people. We've already proven that in the last 20 minutes when we asked for 20 likes. And by the time we got 30, we've got 90 people watching. So just a little brief thing on that. We want more people to be able to see this, not only while we're live, but when we are done. And I want to go through some of these comments and give some shout outs. John Kennedy, and a quick shout out to Trajectory of Wealth. He's always tuning in. Shout out to Trajectory of Wealth. John Kennedy says, I hope we aren't capping for Novatech. No, we are not capping for Novatech. Trust and believe. The main thing that brings me and DAP here today is because we understand we're just sharing our personal experiences with the world. Right. That's we
about to get into the juicy part of Novatech. All right. Because let's
don't go nowhere now.
Yeah. Don't go nowhere. We're about to get into the juicy part. All right. So
capping. We're actually taking the cap off. Taking the cap
amen
off.
to that.
All right. So Unlimited Stream says, good morning, BOJ and DAP and Lambo. Drew, shout out to you, Unlimited Streams. Smithology Project, shout out to my pops. Thanks for doing this live, Mr. Dunbar. I always got to give shout out to my pops when he's in the room. Nilton says, dozens of millionaires and thousands of broke people. Well, that sounds like the world today anyway. That's the nature of the world. They call it the 1% for a reason, right? You got to choose what side you're going to be on. That's just my personal opinion. Me rolling through these comments here. Marusha says, we really pinned our hopes and dreams on Nova. You're not the only ones. A lot of us made some hopes and dream type decisions when it came to Novatech. So you're not alone on that. I think this is a part of the process of getting through it. You know, you talk about your experiences and you make them, able to be heard, right? RLG Trading, my guy, Ryan Lomax Glover says, I've been with many opportunities with real offices and real people. I've learned it means nothing. And this is brother, he's across the pond. So there's a lot of different opportunities that pop up in the UK, and he has taken it upon himself to visit these brick and mortar offices and buildings. And these same companies that, may invest on their own this money to get this stuff and have these spaces. We had a company called Bonanza that was in San Diego or something like that, and they went away with their offices still there, Nilton says, not a hater at all. Hey, we know you're not a hater. We just appreciate the banter. You just give us some extra stuff to talk about, Nilton, so I appreciate you. RLG Trading says, well said. Let me refresh this page just to make sure we're getting close to we got to get our 80 likes. We're at 48 right now, and I'm sure that we're getting, so I won't completely wait. Gloria White says, this sign a little, what is this? What would you call this, Dap?
Yeah, I guess okay, I agree, or I don't know.
Yeah, we'll say that you're agreeable, Miss White. So appreciate you. Debo,
I want to.
Oh, go ahead, Zach. Go ahead.
No. So I think it was Nilton said that, but they did say that they were a hedge fund. So let me say this. So in the beginning, Novatech did use the word hedge fund, right? And that was taken down, I want to say, right before we joined. It just that the message kept being put out there, but they took that down and they clarified it that they're not a hedge fund because of the terminology. They could not. The reason why they called themselves a hedge fund is because, quote unquote, right, they were investing our crypto in many different crypto opportunities or whatever it may be. So that's why they utilized it. But from our understanding, because of the legal ramifications of using the word hedge fund, it was taken out. And it was taken out before I joined. You guys don't believe it? Look up the disclosures, the disclaimers, the terms, and all that stuff. It's there, right? I know the website's not there now, but if you guys took PDFs or screenshots or whatever, there's thousands of them out there already. You'll see that. All right. And again, I'm not defending Novatech by no means. Novatech was not my company to defend. I'm only sharing with you the facts of what I saw for myself. All right. So anything that I'm going to share with you guys today is because it's factual. I have something to back it up.
That's right.
All right. So anyway,
touching on that, Dap, I appreciate. I kind of looked over that. But thank you for touching on that, because I'll be honest with you. When I was first introduced Novatech, it was promoted to me that it was a hedge fund. So I think the first few videos that I even had posted, I was saying, this was told to me that it's a hedge fund, it's a crypto hedge fund, and that kind of misinformation, whether it, how fast it gets to the community, I think that says a lot about where, and this kind of came to a head later, but the communication from the top to the community. I don't
Yeah.
think it was always that great.
No.
I think it could have been better. So I'll leave that where it is for right now. Let's take the cap off a little bit. Let's talk about well, you kind of said you had some juicy stuff. So I wanna see where we pick this thing back up from. I don't have a direct question to kind of start it off.
Okay. All right. No, absolutely. Listen, all right. So let's fast forward, right?
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say about the 18 months, right? Maybe 13 of just pure bliss that
Yeah.
all of us had from when I joined.
Yes.
All right. Obviously, 3 years plus for people that's been in since the beginning.
Right.
But let's fast forward and just say this. Novatech, because of their longevity, because of their consistency at that time, it created, and what made Novatech very unique is the relationships that were being built
Mm-hmm.
of people building community. You hear churches that are a part of this, which have gotten hurt,
Yep.
fraternities, organizations, doctor organizations, government organizations. I
Yep.
know for sure,
Yep.
right? Again, 1 million people based off of this civil suit, which we'll talk about a little later on as well,
Yeah.
right? Again, it's alleged, but even if it's anywhere close to there, even if it's half of that,
Yep.
that's a lot of people, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Only reason think something like that grows to be such, humongous like that is because of relationships.
That's right.
People are sharing and sharing and testimonials after testimonials. This is what makes Novatech at this point, because we don't know what Novatech is right now, guys. Nobody does. All right. But that's what makes it a travesty right now. I can't tell you guys, all right, in my own personal belief, we are all net losers in Novatech.
Yep.
Every last one of us. You
Yep.
don't have to agree with me, but when you are in a position where you invested your crypto, you made your deposit, right? No matter what it was, whether it was $1,000 or 100,000.
Yeah.
If you put 100,000, it's because you had 100,000 to risk.
That's right.
I don't care what nobody says, because
That's right.
nobody forced you to put 100,000 in.
That's
All
right.
right. Either one, if both of you lost, it's a travesty,
Yep.
right? Because what makes it a travesty is not the fact that we lost. It's the fact that we have not heard how we lost, if that's what happened.
Yeah.
That's the frustrating part, the
That's
lack of communication that has happened.
that's
All
right.
right. But let's go back reverse. Let's talk about what everybody says is the net winners. What is a net winner?
Mm.
I'm going to give you guys an analogy, and then we're going to get into some juicy stuff.
Yeah.
Let me tell you in a nutshell what DAP thinks Novatech was. Everybody heard of the Titanic?
Mm-hmm. I have. Write Titanic in the chat if you've heard of the Titanic.
Write the word Titanic in the chat if you've heard the Titanic before. I'm going to tell you exactly what Novatech was. All right. Novatech was the Titanic. And on the Titanic, you had levels. The first level, right, is where the successful were.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in the middle and the bottom is where the vagabonds were, right? And in this case, I'm just going to say the vagabonds, but let's just call it the people that just bought their ticket or just invested or only had enough money to hopefully make this work, but
Yep.
they didn't,
Yep.
right? What happened to the Titanic?
Mm. Now we know it all went down.
What happened to the Titanic? It went down.
The whole thing.
The whole ship went down. People lost generations of families.
Yep.
Right? The Titanic sunk. Whether you were at the top or you were at the bottom, everybody bought a ticket to entry on that ship.
That's right.
Who's to blame for the ship going down? The people on the first level, the people in the middle, or the people on the bottom?
Mm,
None of them, the captain and co-captain of the ship,
that's right.
because they're the ones that were responsible for those lives.
That's right.
So when that ship went down, whether you were a net winner in Novatech, God bless you if you took the chance in June of 2019 and joined it with
Yeah.
all the risk out there, or you came in at the end. Everybody lost. Listen, do you know what it feels like to make a living in something that you take serious and then all of a sudden it just stops?
Man.
Some of you guys are talking about people that lost money. Yes, everybody lost money
Yeah.
because people were living their life based off of those crypto returns.
That's
We're
right.
all net losers, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
All of us. There are stories out there from people that lost everything to people that lost nothing really. It doesn't matter. We're all net losers in a platform that all of us thought was the platform that was going to change the lives of people for years and years to come.
That's right.
All right. That's where I'm going to leave that whole middle cycle.
Yep.
All right. I can't say nothing. And it was crypto, ladies and gentlemen. No one ever sent $1 to Novatech. You had Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, ERC20, or Litecoin, from my understanding.
Yep.
And you made a deposit of that crypto into this crypto platform, right? Which makes it completely decentralized, completely eliminated from the banking system.
Yep.
And you took a risk knowing that there are no rules or regulations in play. We all did it.
That's right.
And it hurts. I
It
can
hurts.
tell you it hurts.
And I want to add to that just a bit.
Go ahead.
Just because there are going to be people that, of course, feel that they were in the middle or the bottom, and that they're going to feel that some people at the top just lost money, right?
Yes.
But there's many people in the middle and at the top that lost way more than money. They lost time. They lost credibility because a lot of people were spending time away from their families and going on trips and setting up meetings and doing all these things because they believed in something, right?
Yeah.
No matter what that something was, they believed in it. So they made accommodations to their life to not only have their life more around it, but the people around them, their lives were affected by this too. So not only did they lose time, family, friends, whatever, presentation time, whatever, they lost their finances, but they also lost credibility with their peers. You know, a lot of them got their like-minded peers involved, and whether they were 100% like frank with them about what it was or not, a lot of people really believed that Novatech was doing what they said they were doing. So we had no real reason to believe that it was going to happen this way, other than the experiences in other platforms, which was kind of, you know, some people were willing to sell out for this opportunity. Some people were still like, well, I'm going to dip and dabble and do this and that. But everybody, like you said, it just reiterates, everybody lost. There was nobody that was exempt from loss in this experience. Somebody said Ty Scamic, and I just
that's brilliant. Ty Scamic.
I chuckled to myself. That was good. That was good. But yeah, everybody lost. Everybody lost.
Let's get into the juicy stuff. First off, because I know everybody wants to hear about what, and not everybody knows about it, but I needed to share this to educate because, again, anytime that there are discrepancies and obstacles in life, if you're a believer, God is about to take you to another level. And unfortunately, I made the wall of, I guess some people call it shame, on Behind MLM, because Behind MLM never posts anything positive. They are a clickbait, TMZ, multi-level marketing media outlet that is simply designed to get clicks.
For sure.
And that's how they make their money, by hyperlinks and clicks and putting false verbiage that allows people to continuously share, and emotionally get charged about things that they don't even know about. All right. I'm gonna just say that for a second. So I don't have that link for the actual the lawsuit, but I think everybody knows what we're talking about. I want to start there for a second
Yeah.
before I go into the whole SEC thing, because put it this way, all these attorneys on YouTube, all of these YouTubers, they all think they know what's going on.
Yep.
If you're not a part of this investigation, you have no idea what's going on. It's
That's
only till yesterday or the day before yesterday, because of me and something that I did, that
yeah.
made the actual investigation public.
Yep.
But it's been going on, ladies and gentlemen, since August of last year. All
Yep.
right. But at the end of the day, there is no case being put on. There is no criminal case. There is no financial fraud case. There's only a fishing expedition that's
Mm.
going on right now by the Securities Exchange Commission. And
Yep.
there are plenty of people, okay, that have been subpoenaed. I just happen to be someone that, again, I don't shy away. There's nothing for me to be afraid of because I have
Yeah.
not done anything.
Yep.
I'm just a person of influence. And unfortunately, when people get emotionally charged, people that have no idea who I am, they've never spoken to me before, will say, hey, Dap took the money. He
Yeah.
knows what's going on. He knows Cynthia. He was the last person with Cynthia. So he is a part of a. Come on, guys. All right. But again, like I said, that's what comes with leadership and
That's right.
influence and moving to another level. So it doesn't bother me, like I said, one bit, because I know no one can call me or text me or say, hey, I need my money back that I gave you. No one
Right.
gave me anything. Right.
That's true. That's right.
But let me say this, and let me tell you why I personally did not put my name on that lawsuit, that civil lawsuit, and why I don't encourage anybody, all right, that understands my philosophy on why. If it was just a civil lawsuit with Novatech's name on it,
Mm-hmm.
I would have actually put my name on it because I'm a part of it, right?
Right.
My family lost a lot in
Right.
Novatech.
Right.
But because it has the names of other passengers on the ship, as
Mm.
if those passengers are responsible for the creation of Novatech, those passengers bought a ticket
Yeah.
like everyone else.
That's right.
And what it shows me is that Novatech grew so big and it got so deep that people truly were just coming in being told whatever.
That's right.
And now you have people's lives that are at danger
Yep.
because of a media outlet that only knows what they know. They don't know the
Right.
other side.
Right.
They want your click.
And they don't care
And
about the
because
other
of
side.
they could care less about the other
Yeah.
side. All they care about is generating money for their platform. And they know that most people don't have the education to understand how to make decisions or choices. And people are emotionally charged. It's what we live in.
That's
But
right.
what did and guess what, guys? My name wasn't on the front page of this. All right. It wasn't. Not that it won't be, because I can tell you that thing is going to get amended dozens of times. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, thousands of you will end up on that civil lawsuit. Because what you don't understand is this: one, that law firm is looking for a money grab.
Mm-hmm.
Because one, they don't know if this is really a Ponzi scheme or not. What they do know is we got enough information through YouTube to say, shoot,
Yep.
if this thing ends up being a Ponzi scheme, we're going to get paid 8 and 9 figures, maybe, because we can charge $800, $900 an hour. We
That's
can
right.
be part of the receivership. Man, let's go. Hey, racketeering, RICO, whatever sounds good, let's throw it on it. Money laundering,
Yep.
wiring,
Yep.
co-conspire. Oh, he was a co-conspirer. You knew he sat at that table with the 13 disciples with
They're gonna
Jesus
wear that thing
and
out.
went ahead and spread Christianity across, and everybody became Christian. Oh, yeah, throw it on there.
Yep. 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 They're
And
gonna
you know
wear
what
that
that
out.
does, ladies and gentlemen? People have already lost careers and jobs because of false allegations of you saying that another affiliate
Yep.
that took a link just like you shared an opportunity just like you, literally co-conspired in creating Novatech and stealing hundreds of millions of dollars. How much more false, BOJ, can that be?
It's ridiculous.
How much more? Like, it makes no sense.
It doesn't. Now, and I don't know how much you know about this because I haven't dove into it too much either. But there's another influencer in the space that has a case against him as well. He's actually from my area, Bitcoin Rodney.
Rodney.
If you've ever heard of Bitcoin Rodney.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the difference between what may be going on with this and that is there's allegations, like it's alleged that he was directly taking people's funds and doing things with them.
Big difference.
They were sending it straight to him, right? That is not what happened as far as me and Dapper is concerned, and a lot of the different leaders that maybe even be on this list. You know, it was my understanding, you know, from what I know, everything that went into Novatech was done, like you said, through crypto, and nobody forced anybody to do it. It was everyone's individual choice to decide to do it. We all bought our ticket to the Titanic, like you said.
No, I absolutely. And let me, I don't want to talk, I want to stay on topic, but just to mention that case with, I think it was Hyperverse, right?
Yes.
The SEC did deem Hyperverse a complete Ponzi scheme where there was no mining or anything. So that's one aspect of it. And then the other aspect was in Hyperverse, because it wasn't a trading platform, right? It was simply where they said there was mining, but there was nothing really going on. That's why they tied up. Oh, that's a point I gotta stay with.
Yeah.
They tied up your money for 18 to 24 months. The only way that you could make money is through recruiting. The challenge with Hyperverse and what's happened with some of the top people, which, you know, I don't know their business, so I can't speak on it, but their platform, if you took money, right, through banking systems or anything, and then gave them that HU token that they had, you are automatically taking people's funds, which means you're cashing out and locking them into a token that has no value because there was really no business.
Yep.
That was the issue. That's why Bitcoin Rodney, he's not in there because he masterminded Hyperverse.
Right.
He's in there because hundreds of people came and said, look, he took millions of dollars from us, gave us this phony token when the company wasn't already paying. And again, this is what's been alleged, right? And that's why those people lost. So we'll leave it at that. But again, I'm only reading facts based off of the charges from the SEC. But let's go back to Novatech. It's really important. Where was I, by the way? What were we talking about?
We were talking about
the lawsuit.
Yes.
Yeah, the lawsuit. So what made Novatech so unique? And this is why we can't say what's happened to Novatech yet, because we don't know.
Right.
Novatech did not lock anybody's money up when we were a part of it.
That's right.
That's what made it spread so much. Every other company had restrictions on your funds. You could make a deposit today and take your earnings right away. And if you didn't want to be locked up into you could get your money back. That's what made Novatech so unique and what made them so trustworthy. That's why I joined them. I never joined Hyperverse.
That's right.
I never joined those other things because I didn't want my money to be locked up. I invested $25K of my own money into Novatech.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And also what I liked about them was you didn't make a lot of money from people coming into Novatech. It was the lowest, smallest compensation plan of all of these platforms.
Yep.
It was when your people got through their profits weekly after months and months and months that you built up that little 1%, 2%, and 3% off of what they earned. So technically, a lot of the money had to be from some sort of trading and maybe something else. That's the part we don't know. And unfortunately, because so many people are not educated in this space, and also too, I'm just not a person to throw allegations out there.
Right.
All right. I hold accountability for everything that I do.
Yeah.
Because that's in life how you create winners. I want my children to be a winner. I want that. Like, you can't read no biography, BOJ, or autobiography of any successful millionaires or billionaires that point the blame at people for their wins or their losses.
That's right.
You
That's right.
can't. You can't, you know. So so anyway, that civil suit, guys, in my opinion, one, there's going to be a lot of amendments being done. There's a lot of false allegations. Guys, let me tell you something. You have children that can possibly commit suicide because their parents are on articles talking about they stole $2 billion from 1 million people, right? And other children get to see those things and, hey, that's your dad, that's your mom. Like, it's so much. It's just it. Listen, it sucks.
Yeah.
I get it because it's
Yeah.
1 million people.
Yeah.
But this is an education platform right now. I
That's
just
right.
want to educate people on mindset and understanding. It's okay to go after Novatech,
Yeah.
but when you start going after affiliates with no proof whatsoever, which I can tell you right now, based off of what I know of Cynthia, and I can only speak for me. I can't speak for the hundreds of other people that know Cynthia and Eddie from my relationship that I had built with them, watching their personalities and everything. I can only speak for what I have heard and I've seen. There's something else going on behind the scenes, guys, that we don't know.
Yeah.
There has to be. They did not seem, everybody said the same thing, guys.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't know them, it's just way too much money. They're not going to get away with anything. Anything and everything under God's sun gets revealed in due time, guys.
That's right.
Everything.
That's right.
They just didn't seem like those kind of people. And they had so much to lose with their family and
Yeah.
everything. They were people about building, and they had just come from a platform in AWS, which I was not a part of. I didn't even,
Yep.
I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
But they just came from a platform that had done exactly what has been done to
Yeah.
us.
To them.
So this is what makes it very confusing,
Yeah.
but time will reveal itself.
That's right.
But until it does, I'm just one of those people that, look, I'm just going to sit back and wait, because I can tell you right now, with the money that I have sitting in Novatech, it's life-changing for me and my family, like thousands of you that are
Yes.
out there. Somebody mentioned, yeah, the people at the top got on the life rafts while the other people didn't. You misunderstood the analogy and understanding. You can create a justification for anything.
That's right.
All right. We're not here to create justifications. What we're here to
That's right.
do is to educate and get people to understand both sides,
Yep.
not just the one side, because
Yep.
we all are in this together. So
Right.
I hope that kind of makes sense, guys. And again, this type of platform, BOJ, and being able to do this is just really about people understanding. So when you do go out there and you throw DAP's name out there, I want you to throw it because you have facts.
That's right.
Be careful, because you never know. My children can get killed from this. I can get killed from this.
Yep.
People die for $1 on the street.
Yep.
What do you think will happen when somebody that invested $200,000, you know, carelessly thinks that me or one of those 500 or 1,000 people or whatever, whoever is going to be put on there, what
Yep.
do you think that is going to happen?
That's right.
Right? And again, we're all in this together. We all came from the same place, and we
That's
were
right.
all introduced to this in the same fashion, in the same way. So, and again, I'm not here to convince or to make you change your mind, because
Yeah.
again, Novatech did to you what they actually did to me. All
That's right.
right. And in some cases, I can say it hurts me more, because we're going to the next part where, had I not put my face out there in January of 2023, I wouldn't even be here talking right now,
Yeah.
because it would only be my community. And again, my community of people, they already know how DAP rolls, because they've
Yep.
been rolling with me for 3.5 years. This is not our first rodeo. We've been
That's
in
right.
1,000 different opportunities together.
Right.
All
That's
right.
right.
But it's the people that don't know me, because I did come forward. And ask yourself, guys, how many people was willing to come forward and try to communicate, right? To try to help this company for what it is that we knew. That's all I was trying to do, guys.
Yep.
I put in all my funds throughout the 2023 season before we technically shut down in June,
Yeah.
thinking that it was going to help us rebound. I'm sorry, guys, but I wish I didn't do it,
Yeah.
because I would have been long gone in other business ventures and real estate, doing something that I didn't have to deal with the headache of people.
That's right.
But it is what it is. I don't regret anything. It's an experience that's only going to build our armor so that we can educate people more, become
right.
more wise, and continue in this space. Let me tell you something, guys. I'm about to go into the SEC stuff with me. Ain't no SEC, ABC, XYZ going to stop me from venturing my family in this crypto space. Until crypto becomes illegal in the United States, I will always invest, because I know that this right here, by the time I'm 60 years old, my family will be able to call themselves trust fund babies.
That's right.
And each and every one of you have that same opportunity. I don't care if you got $100 to your name.
That's right.
This is the financial system that is changing before our eyes.
That's right.
So don't ever forget that. All right. Let's go through some questions first before where somebody asks. Some people always ask, where is Cynthia? Who knows? I can assure you that whether they're here or in Costa Rica or Dominican Republic or Dubai or Panama or Colombia or Haiti, wherever they are, they stopped contact with all of us last year, June and July.
Yep.
All right. Once the SEC started sending out subpoenas, and let me tell you, this is my opinion, because the SEC doesn't tell you how they got their information. They just subpoena you when they're ready to subpoena you. But I can assure you, because I've seen it on the post, it could be in my community, other communities. When people lose money, they always want to find someone to point at. And unfortunately, and this is the part that sucks, when Novatech stopped communicating, they put everybody else out there to hang and dry.
Yep.
And guess what? That's why you see a civil lawsuit that says these particular individuals scammed 1 million people. It is so wrong.
Right.
It's so wrong, but I get it. Attorneys, that's what they're going to do, because they want drama. They want the attention, because it's all about money. But it's so wrong for the passengers of the ship to blame other passengers. Because when everything was going good, oh, everything was kumbaya. Oh, you're the greatest, and this and that, and this and that, and we're friends. Let's go eat. Let's go. Let's go on a cruise together. Everything is good. Soon as it flips around, oh yeah, he stole our money. Yep. They masterminded. Like.
I think I think this person is the owner for real. Like, he's the real owner, and like, I've seen that kind of stuff not only in Novatech but in some other platforms that have gone away in the season of, like, last year. A lot of things went away. Right, last year was a tough year in the space. I think it caused a lot of morale to go down in the space in general. But that's what people will do. They'll find the most accessible people, because of course they can't access those owners. And they'll start blaming whoever is accessible, and they'll just throw shit at a wall and hope it sticks. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, and I wanted you to touch on this, because I think this is one of the biggest educational moments that we can have about how to bounce back from adversity like this. Right?
Yeah.
There are people that have even, unfortunately, gone as far as to end their own lives because of situations like this, and it gets that serious. What would you say to that person that maybe this experience is new or fresh to them? This kind of loss is new or fresh, and they don't know. They're like teetering. They're on the left, where it's like, oh, well, I feel good enough to move forward another day, but I also have days where I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, the bigger mindset thing about a loss like this, and of course it's going to be different for everybody, but how did you kind of deal with this when it all went down? And that's while even feeling the pressure of the community, that some of this, from their ignorant minds or just not knowing, may think that this is your fault, may think it's DAP's fault, may think that DAP is behind this. How did you kind of maneuver that? How did you deal with that?
Word of God, man. There's nothing else I can say. I pray with my wife. My wife is a prayer warrior. And it's just one of those things that, again, adversity comes with the stepping ladder to success.
That's right.
And whether it was going to be this, or it could have been an illness in the family, it could have been anything. You
Yeah.
know, there's some people right now that are going through way worse things than I'm going through.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful to be in the position that I'm in right now. I'm grateful that the SEC has been on top of me for the last 6 months. I'm
Yeah.
glad that I know way more than all of those YouTubers and those attorneys that are just throwing stuff
Just
out
think
there
that.
trying to get more
Yeah.
likes and
Yep.
all of that stuff. It allows me to sit back and be quiet, still govern my community and do what we do,
Yep.
right? For the people that are willing to stick in it, right?
Yep.
And just watch. It's why I haven't said anything, right?
Yep.
Um, and then also understanding that I don't know if you've ever been in a casino before. Have you ever been in a
Oh
casino?
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Have you ever played the lottery before?
Yes.
Have you ever bet on a sports game?
Yes.
What I'm getting at is this. Casinos are the biggest Ponzi scheme out there.
Mm.
Banks are the biggest Ponzi scheme out there.
Mm.
Lottery is the biggest Ponzi scheme out there. Sports betting, I won't call that a Ponzi scheme. There's somewhat of a luck and skill set and consistency that goes about it. But what I'm getting at is when I walk into a casino, and most of the time when I'm in a casino, I've probably gambled in my life 3 times at a casino. Me and my
Yeah.
wife goes to the Hard Rock because we like to watch concerts and comedy shows and stuff like that. But when we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to walk through the casino to go to the theater or to the auditorium, I observe and I watch people's faces.
Yeah.
And you can learn a lot about where people are
Yeah.
gambling their life away, gambling their marriages, their relationships, their spiritual life, their children, their
Yeah.
jobs, their careers, all thinking that success happens by accident. Like it's
That's
the
right.
last dying wish for those who think success happens by accident.
Yeah.
And in seeing that though, it makes me realize that the entire financial system is a Ponzi scheme and it's a game,
Yeah.
right? It's a game that we all have to learn to play, and you have to figure out what lane you want to be in.
That's right.
Understand the rules to the game and understand the risk versus the reward. And just always know that the higher the risk, the higher the reward.
That's right.
All right. And you just have to figure out where are you in that scope of things. Once you figure that out, you know how to play the game.
That's
I
right.
don't know. There's no other way to say it. I
That's
have
right.
lost more than I have won in the crypto space. But my wins, if I take Novatech out the picture,
Yeah.
my wins still outdo my losses
Yep.
because all you're doing is waiting for that 1 or 2 nice wins. And it
Yep.
offsets the 12 losses that I've
That's right.
had
That's right.
because I'm not risking my life.
That's
Right?
right.
Or I can go the other route and just pour into 401k or an annuity or a surety bond, and do it the slow way.
Right.
There's no wrong way,
Right. That's right.
right? You just got to figure out which way you want to go. It's like somebody saying those basketball players and football players getting $100 million contracts. They don't deserve that. What about a teacher? No, they deserve it
Deserve
because
it.
they attract that type of revenue.
That's right.
Right? Now, don't get me wrong. I think every teacher, every social worker, right? Every daycare provider, every
Yep.
police officer, every firefighter,
Yep.
every civil worker, I think they all should be making 6 figures. But
Yep.
that's a government thing.
Yep.
That ain't a people thing. That's a government thing, right?
That's right.
So
I
so
think
that
the
that that
overwhelming majority of the people would want those same things for those people in those professions.
yeah.
I was talking to a teacher the other day, and she was just talking about how she doesn't even make enough money to pay for rent.
Yeah.
Like, we're not even talking about owning a house. We're not talking about that being your house that, maybe you can set up legacy for yourself. You'd think most employers, like a school system or a government, would want their employees to have comfortable lives. But
Yeah.
and I know right here in Montgomery County is one of and Miami can't be too much different because, you think about the type of attention Miami attracts. Well,
Yeah.
right here by the nation's capital, it is not that pretty when it comes down to being able to afford life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? In general, you know. So I really do
Somebody
appreciate, I really do
somebody asked the
appreciate
question.
how you answered
Go
that
ahead.
question.
Sorry.
Let me get to which was it the last question that I'm looking at right here?
Well, somebody asked, yeah, where are the millions that were invested? Did the
I guess,
Reverend close up shop and run? Here's what I can tell you guys. The blockchain is irrefutable. All right. Everything we did is on the blockchain,
mm-hmm.
right? So we ask where the money is, it's on the blockchain somewhere. And
Yep.
the only thing we can do is wait to see either through voluntary actions of Novatech or
Yeah.
involuntary actions to see what actually happens. There's still a little, I have a little optimism. You know, obviously, when the website went down, it kind of went to half the little optimism that I had. But what I also recognized is that website got taken down when the civil lawsuit came about.
Mm.
Right. I went online on Google and I went to who owns NovatechFX.com. So you can see, when it was registered. They renewed last year. Remember, they renewed for 2 years
remember that.
last year. Everybody was
Yep.
like, oh, Novatech's gone
It's coming.
because they're not going to renew.
Right.
Right. They
Yep.
renewed based off of what we saw for, I think, 2 years. So we know the website is still owned by them, but it was
Right.
taken down. That's ironic. I don't know if there's a correlation between the two, but that
Mhm.
I do notice,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
people ask, where is the money? Ladies and gentlemen, we have to ask Novatech where the money is. What
Yep.
I do know based off of experience is during the fourth quarter of 2022, right? When all of the fear and the FUD and everything was going on, and
Yep.
all of us was trying to withdraw our money. All right, I'm gonna raise my hand. At one point, it was me too. We
Yep.
were all trying to withdraw that crypto, but we
Yep.
couldn't, right? That's called a bank run, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Now, I don't know how legitimate Novatech really was when it comes to trading. No one knows. It was proprietary. All
Yeah.
right, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this very clearly. I can't say that Cynthia and Eddie are scammers. I don't know.
Yep.
None of us know until they brought to justice.
That's right.
But what I do know is I don't care if it's legal or illegal. Any trading or anything dealing with money and returns, if everybody at one time is trying to withdraw their money, the system goes down.
Yep.
And I don't think Novatech was ever in a position where I think they had to worry about that because everybody was winning.
Right.
But when that time came and we all was trying to withdraw, obviously that's when things turned
That's right.
and it never came back the right way.
That's right.
And that's the only thing I know. Does that mean they ran completely out of money or not? I don't know because I don't know who all got paid and who didn't.
Yeah.
You guys do because we all know if we got paid or not, which I'm almost 100% factual that most of us did not get paid what was in our accounts,
Yep.
right? But
Especially
we
after
do
a certain.
know, especially after a certain point.
Yep.
Absolutely. So to ask your question, I don't know, So, I know again, people, it's so funny. Out of this country, in a lot of third world countries, you are guilty until you're proven innocent.
Hmm.
In this country, you're innocent until you're proven guilty. But
Yeah.
I see that people here just automatically say people are guilty. So I'm
Yep.
guilty. Yeah, I got your 300 million. All right. And eventually the SEC is going to find it. It's
Yep.
going to be under my mattress somewhere, and you're going to be able to get it because I'm guilty because you just want to point your finger at somebody. My question is for those that say, hey, they stole our money. Okay, well, who is they? Can you show? Matter of fact, can somebody come on live and literally say, hey, I invested my money with one of those 20 people that were mentioned in that civil suit?
Yeah.
Can I see somebody actually say that? I guarantee you it'll be zero.
I'd love to see it too.
Guarantee you it will be zero. It's just
I'd love
people
to see it
talking
too.
a lot of crap, and emotionally impacted by what has happened. Guys, has it been over a year? It's been over a year already.
Yep.
Man, let me tell you something. Had I not moved on, I can tell you right now, I would have been filing bankruptcy. Had I
Mm.
not moved on and I was going to sit back and wait. And I think everybody here can say the exact same thing
Yep.
because you can't wait to pay your bills.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
They still come.
So they still come. So
sure.
let's go to some juicy stuff.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's bring up behind MLM. I want to talk about them for a second because I've been
they've done feature articles on the both of us. So let's give them a little shine tonight, you know?
Listen,
let's give them a little run.
Listen, what I realize is they've done shines on very bad people.
Yeah.
And they've done shines on amazing individuals. But the
right.
the beauty, the beauty and the irony is all of the shine is always negative.
That's right.
Always negative. So let me go ahead and find my share button here. Here
we couldn't be on here looking this good and something be all not bad about us. I mean, come on.
No, not at all. Did you give me co-host?
Search for some. I definitely yep, you are the host now.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let me see something here. There we go. All right, cool. So let's bring up my handsome face.
Look at that, y'all. Still got the full beard and everything on that one.
Oh, I got the full beard, man. That's yeah, right. Let me enter full screen. All right, cool. So let's talk about this for a second. All right. SEC confirms federal fraud investigation into Novatech. No one knew if an SEC violation or phishing escapade was actually being done until this article came out on the 15th. And I'm gonna share with you. I have no reason not to share with you why it actually came out. All right, and I'll share with you that in a second. All right. Following non-compliant, but let's go through what they've said and see, have they said anything false, or are they just being media and like, hey, we got another person to put out there. SEC has confirmed a federal investigation with Novatech, which again, ladies and gentlemen, has been going on for over the last 7 months. Following non-compliance of investigation, subpoena, DAP, blah, blah, and Corey, blah, 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 blah. He calls himself Mr. Amazing. I don't call myself Mr. Amazing, by the way. All right.
I know who does though, but you
know, Tiger is my family name, by the way. So they got that from Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook profile claims he's a Florida resident. No, I don't claim I am a Florida resident. SEC claims Dunbar, approximately 10,000 investors. Let's stop there. I've shared this. I have no problem saying this. I've shared this with probably 120 people personally. Every last person that I shared it with understands this business. All right. They all deposited their own crypto into their trading platform. Approximately 10, I don't have 10,000 investors. Nobody has investors. I'm not the hedge fund, quote unquote. I'm not the trading platform, quote unquote. These are affiliates, right? And that number is wrong anyway, because I've only shared it with 130 to 140 people, right? And mind you, I've never been on YouTube to share an opportunity. I've never gone public and shared an opportunity. All of my opportunities that I've shared was with my community.
Yeah.
Where you shared it with someone that you liked or cared about or knew, and you brought them so that we can make sure that we are all on the same page based off of the information that we know. Not because I couldn't have. And we talked about this before, BLJ, and this is why I didn't start my YouTube channel in crypto early in the beginning. And that's because you saw it from a different angle. You don't want to build relationships personally with people. You just showing and logging, documenting your crypto journey.
Correct.
Right. And giving people an opportunity to do the same if they choose to, understanding all of the risk with all the disclaimers that you give. Right. It's why nobody can ever come to you and say anything, because you have not built a personal relationship. People follow you because they want to, not because you force them to.
Correct.
The difference in my approach is that we truly foster relationships because we come from a network marketing background.
That's right.
All right. And we like to build relationships. That's just what it is. And when you build a relationship with someone, there's an emotional attachment to those people.
That's correct.
All right. And because of that emotional attachment, when money is involved, unfortunately, in this case, crypto, but it's still, value, and things go wrong, unfortunately, emotionally, people react. So I get that. And it really sucks, but it can't change who I am and how I do things. Now, from a scaling side of things, it probably is smarter to not build relationships and put systems out there so people just do their own thing. But it's just you figure out kind of how you want to operate, and that's what you do.
That's right.
Right. Collectively, Dunbar's victims, what victims? The affiliates in the group invested at least 50 million in cryptocurrency. So I'm going to talk about these numbers for a second because one, no one knows what the real number is. All right. When I talk to the SEC, I don't know what that number is. I only know what it said on our back office.
Yeah.
And let me also say this. June 2019 is when Novatech started, and tens of thousands of people joined Novatech with whatever they joined Novatech with. All right. Some people shared the opportunity, some didn't. Right. A lot of people were able to make a lot of money prior. But what's going into these numbers and what was in that back office, from my understanding, is you got a lot of people saying, man, I got $100,000 in there. Bro, you ain't put $100,000 in there. If you're calling this a Ponzi scheme, you don't have 100,000 in there.
Right.
I don't have the money that I have in there if this is going to eventually be deemed a Ponzi scheme. Why? Right. Because if it's deemed a Ponzi scheme, that means there was really no investments being done. And then that definitely means that it was robbing Peter to pay Paul.
That's right.
And if that's the case, then guess what? Whatever money that you have in there that is not your principal is not yours.
Yep.
So that $50 million or whatever it is, it could really only be like 5 million because people were talking about the money that they got sitting there from all of the trading profits.
Right.
Or the commissions that they made.
That's right. That's a good point. That's a good point.
We don't know, ladies and gentlemen, but you got to be, if you're going to say things, you got to be factual about it. And that, I'm not to retract, but that civil suit, this is going to be real interesting when 99% of the people that are in the civil suit are quote unquote promoters.
Right.
All right. And I say quote unquote promoters, ladies and gentlemen, a promoter is someone that was paid to promote. Tom Brady was a promoter of FTX.
FTX. That's right.
All right. We were all affiliates.
Yep.
All right. No one here was paid to promote Novatech. And if I was paid to promote Novatech, then I would have been on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, MySpace. I would have been everywhere.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
No one here was paid to promote Novatech. We are all affiliates. So the irony of this whole civil suit, not to retract, but these people are going to be plaintiffs and defendants at the same time because they're making you fill out that form to put who your sponsor is. I'm about to get into the juicy part because guess what? You want to talk about you were in Novatech? Wait till the SEC gets a hold of you. And you got to put $30,000 and $40,000 of retainers to represent you to make sure that you don't get incriminated for something that you didn't do. Whew. Anyway, let me stop right there. So we're going to get into the juicy part in a second. All right. So let's keep on going. Quoting Novatech marketing material, January 23rd, 296. Again, this is all based off of what's in the back office. Nobody took any money from anybody. Caught the attention of the SEC. All right. So SEC subpoenas, addition, provide testimony. Okay. So here's where they're stating exactly what is in the documents of the actual subpoena, right? Communications and documents regarding Novatech or AWS mining The SEC doesn't know who plays what role. They only know that people contacted them and said, DAP is a part of that scam. They didn't say that they're a part of the scam because they shared information, right? I didn't call the SEC because I'm not a person that points fingers at anybody. I knew what I joined. And it would be wrong for me to blame my sponsor or their sponsor or 10,000 sponsors above them. We all knew what we were getting into. Social media posts, regarding Novatech, communications with prospective or current Novatech investors. Let's stop right there. Ladies and gentlemen, I am under the SEC subpoena laws to provide any information if you contact me or talk to me about Novatech. So if you want to be involved with the SEC, if you want them to pry into your business over the last 4 years of Novatech, then all you got to do is contact me or talk about Novatech, and your name has to actually go there. Why? Because I'm not trying to go to jail for perjury or lying or anything like that.
Right.
Right. So make your own decision from there.
That's
All
right.
I know is that retainer was over $30,000 for me. Money
Woo.
that I did not have to put out there after all this money being stuck.
Yeah.
But I also know in America that the legal system is corrupt and it's all about wordplay. Even if they can't find anything on you because there is nothing on you, you can incriminate yourself. All right, guys. So I'm gonna just leave it there.
Everyone.
Be very careful. All right. Crypto asset wallet addresses. You see what they're asking for? Look, guys, there's like 100,000 pages of they want your whole life. All right. Including wallet addresses from which Dunbar and Sampson received crypto assets from Novatech, wallet addresses to which Dunbar and Sampson sent crypto assets to Novatech, wallets, accounts through which Dunbar and Sampson bought, sold, transferred, or traded cryptocurrency. So long story short, the SEC, guys, just to give you guys some education, because that's really what this is, right? The SEC is not the courts. When I first got subpoenaed last year, back in August or whatever it was, right? I ended up doing a deposition. I did. It was over 8 hours long. All right. It was miserable. They were nice, but it's just a lot of questioning, right? And it's an investigation because they're trying to figure out what is what.
Right.
I'm not under trial. All right. I'm not a defendant of any sort. I didn't have an attorney there defending me. I had my attorney representing me to make sure that I answered the question straight. And also I did not divulge things that were not asked of me.
Right.
Right. Because again, this is about Novatech. It's not about anything else that's out there. Right. So what ended up happening is I left the deposition after 8 hours. And there were some things that I thought that I had, right? Additional that I did not submit to them as an exhibition. And because I did not turn those things in, and that's because I went back in and I was like, well, I don't really have anything. I got the Telegram chat from Novatech, and those things, but I'm not an admin in all those other chats. I only control what I control, right? So I never got back with them in time. And they immediately, the SEC, went to the court magistrate to get the court to subpoena the additional records that I was supposed to turn in. Well, I had already done that, ladies and gentlemen, a week and a half to 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right. So all this information is late. But because the SEC went to the judge, it no longer became just a fishing escapade. Now it's logged into the courts, because anytime a court is involved, it's public information, ladies and gentlemen. Your divorce is public information. Your traffic ticket is public information. Right? Any lawsuits are public information. So that's why this actually went out. All right. Now, the only thing I got an issue with behind MLM, technically, because they didn't say necessarily anything wrong, was this part here. Where was the part where they said collectively Dunbar? No, they said in this investigation that SEC, damn. They said somewhere in here that I'm responsible for stealing hundreds of millions of dollars or something like that. Like, that is so false, because I have not been accused of anything nor charged with anything. And I'm just a witness. They've called a lot of people subpoenaed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not the only one.
That's right.
All right. I'm just not the one that's scared to talk about it, because I have nothing to be scared of. All right. And this is my space. And no one's going to deter me from becoming successful and leading thousands of people to be successful on their own. All right. Let's go to the hyperlink that shows you guys exactly what the SEC requested. Ladies and gentlemen, it's factual documentation right here. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. This is on here because the SEC, ladies and gentlemen, all right, requested information from me. That's all this is. But I need you to look at this second to last paragraph. I'm going to read it to you guys. The SEC's application sought court ordering directing Dunbar and Sampson to comply fully with the subpoenas. The court granted the SEC applications and ordered Dunbar and Sampson to produce documents responsive to the commission's subpoena and order Sampson to appear for testimony. The SEC continuing its fact-finding investigation. Novatech's not charged with anything. They're fact-finding. Once they fact-find, then from there, if they have any documentation that shows that there was a securities issue, either one, a fine will be put out there, or it can be then taken to the U.S. attorneys, which is the DOJ, which is a completely different entity. That's who will do the prosecution and all that stuff, guys. The SEC is continuing its fact-finding investigation. All right, guys, there you go right there. So Novatech is going through a fact-finding investigation with the SEC, and to date has not concluded that any individual or entity has violated the federal securities law. What you guys got to say about that in the comments?
Where's the comment section at? Talk to us now, because I believe the date says February 14th on that one, right? Am I looking at that correct?
This is February 14th. What's today?
February the 16th. So this is This is very recent. This is recent enough. As a matter of fact, they tried to attack my folks, my good people on Love Day. Well, I won't say attack. They just put out information, but they put out information on Love Day. So what I'm seeing some stuff in the chat. Is this meeting about your defense? Please tell that to the court. If you cared, you would have been on top of this to help people get people's money back. That's somebody that just doesn't even know.
Yeah, they don't even care. I'm not here to defend myself. We're here to educate the community so you understand what you're doing.
What I'm saying? And those that know, know. You know what I'm saying? The rest of that, but thanks for the interesting comment there, Ed. You gave us something to talk about. Willie Jennings says they could have refunded our bread.
Oh, hey, it's always another brother trying to bring another brother down.
Man. And look, hey, man. One thing I've learned about YouTube, and I hope this is actually his picture, but there are people out there that will literally use fake pictures of brothers to attack other brothers in the space, and they're not even brothers.
Meanwhile, they're in other opportunities, investing all over again.
Yep, right? Trying to get you in theirs.
Yeah,
in your inbox, in your DMs, trying to get you to get their links.
Somebody said they could have refunded. Let me tell you something, guys. Again, I can only speak through what I feel, and I'm never going to side with the motion of the ocean, because that's what everybody is doing. I am still not 100% unsure if Novatech may not just end up popping back up and paying out people either what they owed them or getting people paid out. I can't say that because we don't know what Novatech, we are not going to know until I don't think all the money is gone. It'd be hard for me to believe that all the money is gone. I can't believe that, but again, we don't know. Yep. So we can't say that, but again, people are going to say what they want.
They're going to say what they want. And there's a lot that we don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I think I would hope everyone understands that, like we've regurgitated all day, and I think you guys do understand, so I don't want to insult anybody's intelligence, but we were affiliates of Novatech. We were not the owners of Novatech, so we're not here to defend Novatech, but what we are here to make clear is
by no means
was.
By no means.
I was also a person that was a fan of the Reverend. I was a fan of Miss Cynthia Pethion and her husband and Roy, and how they carried themselves, at least from what we were able to see. But there's a lot of things that we can't see about many different people, and it kind of is. It is very unfortunate, but it's one of those things where it kind of is what it is. It's all about now how you respond to the adversity that was the Novatech experience, and I think that the biggest thing that, one, if you haven't moved forward, if you haven't found a way to move forward, I hope that portions of this conversation can help that happen for you. I hope that there are some people that are out there that are feeling a little bit, I don't know about relieved or freed or whatever the case may be for you in your personal situation. But even if it's just to know that you didn't go through it alone, because you may have felt like you got in and didn't refer anybody, and you put in this or put in this much time or this much effort or whatever the case may be, and you feel like you're the only one that was affected by that. We were affected, and some of you may see us as the biggest leaders that there are in this space. I hope you don't, but some of you may.
Hey, let me tell you something. All right. There are folks out of this country and in this country that invested 100,000 of their own money. God bless their soul. That made and cashed out millions without sharing it with a soul. There were people cashing out millions in crypto before we even joined.
Yeah, that's a fact.
All right, guys, think about it. If you're making an average of 2.5% to 3%, whatever that was per week, and you let that type of money come, I mean, just think about it. It depends on where you are. Some of you were amazed with just what $1,000 did.
Yeah.
Well, what about the people that put in $500,000?
That's right.
Or $1 million of their own money?
That's right.
And this is where I'm saying everybody is on the same ship.
That's right.
Your risk factor is your risk factor. If you risked your house, I pray for you.
Yeah.
Right? Some people didn't risk anything. Some people were very smart. They said, I'm not risking a dime, but I am going to share the opportunity because I know leveraging, right? No different than any other network marketing company can get me paid faster and without as much risk. Some people don't like to share, so they put more money in and they made a lot of money fast, got their money back quick, right? This is the crypto space, ladies and gentlemen. When Bitcoin drops again another 30 to 40%, are you going to say that that was a scam? No, it's a manipulated market that all the institutions are buying and selling and buying and selling to get the people like you that are buying emotionally to sell out of fear, right? Not that they want you to lose, but they're trying to take up what you don't really understand is going to happen.
Exactly.
You know, it's just, again, this is why we're doing this. It's for education because this is the space that we're in. So, and we're not leaving the space. I'm not leaving the space. Like I said, I love this space because crypto was created for the people. And when the metaverse really starts getting cranking and it's completely all smart contracts, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, you're going to understand and be able to experience what 1% and 2% a day and 3% a day really is when there's no intervening by man anymore. And everything is completely blockchain run. And there is services and products actually being provided digitally that allows capital and cash flow to just keep on coming for everyday people like us, guys. This is why regulation is trying to come, is because crypto is going to set us free and they don't want it to because it's not how the system was originally designed. So
that's right. It was built off the backs of the people at the bottom. You know, and now the power is gonna the power, at least from a monetary standpoint and some other standpoints, is getting back to the people. I'm starting to see that. I think we're all starting to see that. I want to take a quick second because I don't know how much time you got left.
I'm good.
We talked about, and we've been talking about this for a long time, and this is a little bit of a pivot question, but this is to talk about the Let's Dap It Up podcast. So we've been talking about how, you know, I've always been very adamant about your presence in this space. I think it's necessary. I think a lot of us need to hear more DAP in our lives on a day-to-day basis, or whatever aspect or whatever capacity and bandwidth you're able to give us. But I'd love to hear just a little bit how you got to you finally getting your podcast announced and started, and what brought you to this place. And I want to motivate somebody out there that is thinking about starting a journey of their own. right? Whether it be in podcasting or whether it's going on a fitness journey or whether it's getting into the crypto space that for their first time, they're seeing this and they're hearing about Novatech and all the different things that can happen in this space. And they're a little bit apprehensive and scared, which I think all of us are at a little bit when we're jumping into something that is brand new, right?
Yeah,
And based off what
absolutely.
we have learned about doing brand new things and just sticking with it until we figure it out, I think that has a lot to do with where we are right now. But I would love, and then of course, give your shameless plug of your new podcast. But how did you get to that, finally get to that point where you wanted to start getting back into talking to the people in the capacity of a podcast?
No, thank you. I will say that you have been definitely a motivation. Having a relationship with you, you've been a motivation in wanting to start a podcast. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, the Let's Dap It Up podcast is not about cryptocurrency. It's not about investing or any of that. It's really about amplifying diverse voices and fostering meaningful relationships. I
That's
want
right.
to celebrate the art of dapping it up. Hence my name, Dapping It Up. If you don't know where the art of dapping it up comes from, the handshakes and stuff, all you got to do is Google it, and
Yep.
you'll be able to see that it represents pride and unity and shared experiences, and just being able to explore the narratives that shape our community. I just really think while I'm in the crypto space, it's really important for me to create and to control my own narrative. That's really been the biggest thing for me.
That's right.
Um, a lot of people follow me, even though I'm not big social media wise. Again, everything has been through the private sector of things, you know, through telegrams and WhatsApps and group me's way back before all of that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And us just coming together and just realizing that I do have a voice. And like I said, my stance is truly with the word of God. And while I'm not going to be preaching, or maybe I am, right? Because preaching happens outside of the four walls as well. I
Right.
try to do it through the life of my family, my integrity, and what it is that I do. But I want to be able to, again, like I said, amplify voices and stories and just be real. And I can tell you right now that this experience that I'm going through is what Let's Dap It Up is really all about. Because
Yep.
if you can't be transparent and share your experiences, share the understanding of you know, my divorce, and not necessarily pointing it all on my ex-wife, which I could easily do,
Yeah.
right? She could easily point it at me.
Yep.
But taking accountability and responsibility and utilizing those experiences to build up and to hopefully show people how not to make those same mistakes,
That's right.
right? It's going to be valuetainment, right? It's going to be edutainment.
Yep.
So I'm really excited about it. There's some hurdles and things that have kind of slowed it down from launching at this very point in time.
Yeah.
Hence why we're here right now.
Yeah.
But also I'm creating some documentary stuff to kind of just share a little bit more about myself with the
Yeah.
professional videographer crew, so that way people in the world that doesn't know me here can actually know, you know, who I am. So
That's right.
um that's Let's Dap It Up. So if you guys want to go to YouTube, just put in Let's Dap It Up and just subscribe to the channel. Let's Dap
Yes.
It Up spaces, right? And subscribe to the channel and support if you want. If not, it's okay as well. You know, this is not about money for me. I thank God for him putting me in the position to be someone that is not really, I'm not flamboyant when it comes to money. I don't live a expensive life.
Yeah.
Hence, contrary to some of the YouTube, you know, Ponzi guys who would create a story and put out
Yeah.
there last year that,
I
oh,
know what
Dad
you're
bought
talking
a Rolls Royce with your money. I'm like, you mean the Rolls Royce that I paid $1,200 for the day for my daughter who graduated high school?
about.
That
Man,
Rolls Royce?
folks just be
Oh,
reaching,
okay.
bro. They
That
reach.
beats women.
Oh my
Oh, okay. You
gosh,
mean
bro.
the play that I was doing 7 years ago that was on YouTube that he just used to attract attention? Like, I mean,
Man,
you know, I mean, hey, like I said, man, to whom much is given, much is
much
required,
is
and there's
required.
gonna always be opposition that
Yep.
wants to see you fail. But I
That's
do know that when my book comes out, the story is going to be the glory,
that's
and
right.
I'm going to continue to plant seeds, because if you don't, the weeds will continue to grow. So,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So
Well,
yeah, man.
thank you,
Thanks
man.
for asking that question.
Of course, man. I had to give that plug because one, I'm proud. The fact that you would mention me as an inspiration on that is one thing, but I have just been a fan and a person that has received so much from you directly and indirectly, as a part of my journey. So to know that we're gonna be able to have more conversations like this in this medium, whether it be on my channel or your channel or different people's channels, however it gets out there. And I also wanted to do it just to make sure that it's cemented that it actually is going to happen. So you
It
put
is
it out there. You
it's
can't
for
you can't
real.
walk it back. Now y'all see all that
Oh
equipment
no.
he's got back there. Ain't
Oh
no
no,
walking
not at
this
all.
back.
Ain't
You
ain't no turning
can't walk
back.
this
Trust
one
me.
back.
No,
So
it's where I'm going. Listen, media, this is where media has gone,
that's right.
right? It's not about big media anymore. It's about the influence that you carry and companies seeing that and saying, "Hey, we like what you have. We
Yep.
like the following you have, and we want to build a relationship with you." That's really what
That's
it's
right.
about. And the crazy part is anybody can do it.
That's
And
right.
believe it or not, the more trash you talk about, the more the more likes you get,
Listen,
the more viewership and subscribers you get. And I'm just not about that. So
there's a lot of free game in some of the stuff that the behind MLMs and the people that are click baiting, they're giving out free game. If you notice,
yeah,
they're talking about negative stuff all the time, which is that spreads faster than wildfire. And then they're talking about hot topics. So they're adding the negative to the hot topic, and that's what's getting their following. Their following. It's
yeah,
unfortunate that that's what people will look to, and I do believe that me and you are going to be examples of. We're going to be positive examples of how to grow a network the right way, growing it with things that people actually want to know about, want to hear about, want to talk about. And we don't have to trash people to get the information out. We don't have
no, not
to
at all.
we don't have to scam people. We don't all the things that people say that we do. We don't have to do those things
Yeah,
to get attention. We just talk about things that we're knowledgeable about. We don't act like we know the things that we're not knowledgeable about, but we're committed to finding the information if we're interested enough. And we just keep on moving, man. So I just want to thank you one more time for joining us here on the channel. You've addressed so much today, Dap. And for those of you that are out there that was looking for Dap to kind of talk about the behind the MLMs, the SEC stuff, the
where's
Novatech,
Dap? He's hiding.
he's hiding. He's somewhere in Costa Rica or Dubai or whatever. Like, I'm honored that you would choose our channel here to do that. Thank you so much for spending time with us. You've been more than a brother to me, man. And I appreciate it. I want to give you. I know we've been on here for 2 hours. I'm in here sweating a little bit in my office because I don't have no AC on. But I want to leave it to you to live the final word. Of course, I'll give my final disclaimers at the end, bro. But I wanted you to leave it with you to give the people the final word, whatever you want to leave them with, whatever that is from Dap Dunbar himself. What would that be?
A couple of things.
Yeah.
First, I've already talked about the crypto space and this being something that is very challenging, but also very rewarding if you're willing to truly educate yourself and understand how to play the game. The
Yeah.
one thing that I will say, as somebody that's of influence, is you have to really want it and you have to be willing to accept everything that comes with it. I can tell you right now that it is the most stressful thing in the world, especially in the beginning when we got subpoenaed,
Mhm.
because I didn't know what to expect. I only knew that I got subpoenaed because I already knew that people were going to use my name and throw it out there. And I didn't, I've never been subpoenaed before for anything. I've never even been to, what's that thing called with court where everybody gets the jury duty?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I've never even been to that,
To be honest, me
you
neither.
know.
I've never had jury duty
Uh,
either.
so to experience that, what I can tell you is it's nerve-wracking because their job, while they're very nice, they're not your friends, right? And their job is to put together a case, right? Because they're
Yep.
doing an investigation.
Yep.
And when you have to go, and again, when you have nothing to hide, it doesn't matter. But again, it was my first experience.
Right.
But what I can tell you is don't be afraid of it. If you know that you have not done anything wrong, you have to understand that this is just a part of the journey. How
That's
awesome is it for me to be able to continue my crypto journey and to allow people to understand that I've been questioned? I'm not even going to say interrogated because they're not. necessarily scary. The only reason you should be scared is if you've
You've done
done
something
something
wrong.
intentionally
Yeah.
wrong, right? But it is nerve-wracking. Financially, it is not a place that you want to be if you don't have money,
Yeah.
because it can get very expensive to have really great attorneys that know what they're talking about. SEC attorneys, not just
Yep.
like legitimate attorneys that can show you their records in cases that can compare in some way.
Yeah.
If there was ever a case, like, it's not cheap.
Right.
And in some
That's right.
cases, not just one attorney, it's partnering different attorneys. One may be federal, one may be SEC. Like, you just don't know, right?
Yeah.
But it costs a lot of money. It creates a lot of frustration, and things operate on their time.
Yeah.
When they want something, they want something.
That's right.
So just be careful and just understand that don't take people's money. Allow them to do things by themselves, because when
Yep.
you hear about wire fraud and all of those things,
Yep.
not that it's, it sounds like a bad word, but good intentions are probably what's being done in a lot of these situations. But because these situations end up being, let's say, where it's not a real company, and
Yeah.
you were facilitating something, especially, and obviously not in Novatech's case, because they did not take, and we also didn't have tokens like that other company.
Right.
Um, but you don't want to put yourself in position, because when people lose, they're not your friends anymore, at
Yeah.
least most people.
That's right.
They're gonna come after you because of emotion, and they don't understand that the damage that they can cause. All it takes is one wire fraud charge of doing something for an illegal activity, and you're gone for 10 years,
Mm.
right?
That's right.
That's not fun. And I don't think anybody really wants to see that happen to someone that does not necessarily really deserve that, meaning there was
That's right.
no intent, right? But
Right.
unfortunately, in a space where you're dealing with people, and that's why I respect your platform and the fact that you don't build relationships, because nobody can come back and say, oh, BOJ forced me, or he did this, or he did
Right.
that. But when you're dealing with a broad audience, you have to understand that you got to know your parameters. That's
That's
all.
right. That's right. And
And then other than that, just stay truthful to yourself, be as transparent as you can. No one is ever perfect. I don't look at people's record and say, oh, I'm not dealing with them because of that. I need to understand the story.
that's right.
Because when you are a risk taker and you are going the opposite way of everybody else, there's going to always be opposition and challenges. I'm dealing with the crypto platform right now that I'm looking to put out there, and I'm dealing with the CEO right now who lives in Florida. Who I got an interview that I'm going to put out on the BTGI network. If you guys haven't subscribed to that channel, I started that channel. Matter of fact, let me go back real quick. The BTGI network is a YouTube channel as well. I started that channel last year.
Yep.
I did nothing on it except for that one video, because I started to see, I created that channel because I wanted to talk more about Novatech, but the information kept on getting less and less. And I started to see people start to like turn.
Yeah.
They went from, oh, we so appreciate you being open because the company's not communicating and you giving us something, to dap, dap, dap did it, dap. I was like, all right, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me just lay low, because I do not want to put my family or any of
That's right.
my peers in harm's way,
That's
because
right.
I know people can be crazy. So that's
That's
why
right.
I never did anything with it. And I just went private with my community, and we kept on going in crypto platforms,
That's
and
right.
we've done well. We've had challenges, but we've never had another Novatech, right?
Right.
Because I refuse to put my stamp and do a presentation and build relationships if I cannot see for myself
Yep.
real activity.
That's right.
If I can't talk to now my SEC attorneys and say, hey, listen, I know we can't guarantee the future of what will happen, because the SEC changes laws all the time right now with crypto. But
Yep.
right now, is this platform legally able to operate? If I can't get those things answered, I will not actually present it from a relationship building standpoint,
Correct.
you know. But I still think this industry is only going up. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if y'all not holding crypto, I don't care if it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Avalanche, Solana, you know, XRP, Ethereum. If
Yep.
you're not holding crypto right now, just like I said several years ago, all right, and a lot of people have said,
Yep.
you are throwing your children's and grandchildren's legacy down the drain, because the institutions like Grayscale and Blackstone and
Yep.
Fidelity and
Yep.
Citibank and JP Morgan Chase are all buying up crypto now, because I can assure you, between now and the next 18 months,
Yep. Man, oh man.
you're gonna
They're
see
not just
10Ks
they're
turning
not
into
just
5
buying
and 6 million.
incremental. They're not just buying incremental
No
portions either.
siree.
So
No siree, no siree. So yeah, that's it, man. So I thank everybody for listening. And like I said, this is an ongoing investigation. Eventually, what has been done in the dark will come to light. But I pray that everybody sees this in a different light. If you were kind of just emotionally out there, and if you're going to go after anybody, let's go after Novatech. Right. So that we can at least get answers. Are we wanting the execution of Cynthia or Eddie? Listen, man, I have no idea what they're doing. I have no idea. All right. But eventually it will come out and we will all get justice, whatever that is. And I can't wait, because at the end of the day, I want to know what happened to that money, because there's a lot of money sitting in my account in Novatech that could be life-changing for my entire family. So that at this point, I wish I didn't put back, and I would have taken out trying to be a leader up front. Right. But and in my community, I was transparent. I have some people here that they say, yep, DAP definitely led by example. He was not pulling out that money. And it was not because I was trying to save the company. I wanted to show by example, because we all feel that we were a part of something legit. Every last person here felt like they were a part of something legit, until the SEC or whomever regulatory body says it's not.
That's right. That's right. Well, my brother, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being on with us today. And thank you for your transparency. Once again, of course, that's what I expected. But, a lot of the people in the comment section, they show how much they know and how much they don't know about the men that they see. And of course, those that get a chance to watch this later, whatever you get from it, we do hope that it's a positive thing for you. We can't tell you what to do with the information that you received today, but I agree with that. If there's anyone that, if there's any entity that needs to be gone after, it's Novatech. It isn't the people like Corey Sampson and DAP and a lot of the other leaders, even myself. There's been some people that are saying that even I have been instrumental, even though every time that I've ever talked about any one of these platforms, like DAP said, I'm not doing this to necessarily build a relationship, even though it happens in the course of people understanding where I'm coming from.
Correct.
It's not about, it's about the journey that we're on. It's about awareness about the journey. It's about helping people to navigate this space that some people may have just blindly found. Having people that they can come to YouTube and watch and kind of see them maneuver can teach them some things. This is edutainment, like you said, right?
Yeah.
So this is what it is. And brother, I wish you 100% the best on your podcast, all future endeavors. I hope to hear about this platform if it passes your test in Florida when you go and meet with the CEO. I know I'll hear about it, and along with the other things that we're involved in. I'm here to stand on the principles that my brother DAP is a upstanding brother, and he's not about the scams. We're not about the scams. We understand that this whole thing is a money scheme. It's a game. And if you want to play the game, you can play the game. If you don't want to play the game, you can watch. There's millions of us that just watch the Super Bowl, just watch Usher. Doesn't mean that we're going to be in the Super Bowl. I may look like I'm training for a Super Bowl one day, but doesn't mean I'm going to be playing in it. And that's a decision that I make. All of us have to make the decision on what games that they're going to play. And we have to have a risk management strategy. It is very, very important. Let this Novatech experience be an experience that helps to teach you the lessons of investing, right? Even if it's general investing, understanding if I'm buying real estate or I'm investing in a company, if I only have $1,000 to my name, is it smart to put $1,000 into one thing knowing I've got to pay for my family's bills and have this and that and the third? It may not be the smartest thing to do. Again, not telling you guys what to do, but just saying, hey, look, we have to have these things in place if we're going to be in this space. All right. Everyone was on this Titanic. Yes, some of us may have bought more expensive seats on this Titanic. We might have had the suites on the top level, but it all went down. All right. Now, our strategy amongst in the midst of was a little bit different. You know, Dab was one of the people that kept his money rolling in. I was one of the people that said, if you can withdraw, get it out. You know what I'm saying? And it all kind of falls on what your personal beliefs are at the time that you're making these decisions. So we're not here to beat each other up about those decisions. We're all here to learn from them. And I've seen many people in the comment section say, well, I'm never investing in this space again. Well, that's okay. That is your decision to make. That's perfectly fine. And nobody's here to bash you about that or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I think that that's a part of a risk management strategy that some people do need to adapt. Some people need to say, I don't need to play in this space no more because it's putting me in a position that I can't recover from. That's maturity. Absolutely. That's awareness. That's understanding where you are doesn't match what this space is providing at the time or whatever you're able to put out. So I think that's maturity. Nobody over here is gonna down you for that. And anybody that still watches us in the midst of all that, I think that's a kudos to you and us because we're still providing value in some type of way. And that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to provide value to a space that we feel needs a little bit of extra spice that we provide, you know? So we're going to do that, you know?
I had a guy text me. So I didn't know about there's a Solana coin, I think it's called BONK, BONK.
BONK, yeah.
Yeah. So it was a guy that was in Novatech, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whoever you said just made that comment about not being in this space no more, he said the same thing. I'm not ever being in this space no more.
Yep.
Then his BONK coin, he put 5K in BONK. Now, if you look at BONK over the last year, it's 1,300% return.
Oh my God.
Right? Over the last month, over the last, 1,395% return. So anyway, he called me like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
A week ago, and he was like, bro, I just looked at my account in my MetaMask wallet, and dude, I got like 90 grand or something sitting in my wallet from BONK. Yeah. So he's like, dude, I want to invest again. I said, I thought you said you don't want to invest no more. He said, yeah, but that's because in my first venture in crypto, I lost. I said, yeah, but you knew that I lost like 100 times.
Yeah.
But I never stopped.
Yep.
You know, so it's to say you just have to figure out your risk.
That's right. It's
everybody's journey
to go on, and that's what makes this a beautiful thing. You know, for the people that are willing to share them. You know, for the people that are willing to stay in contact with you or still keep the relationships alive for things like that. Like nobody knew a BONK coin was gonna, you know, and for it to happen to someone that had quit the space and now is re-excited about the space because of something that still happened in the space.
Correct.
You know, it's still a miscellaneous coin that most people that are listening right now probably had never heard of. I know I had never heard of.
I never had heard of it either, but it's a popular meme coin. So, I mean, there's thousands of them. This is a space that, and here's what I know. Most people are not going to leave. And then even if they leave, they're coming right back because, again, there's no easier place and there's no better possibility than turning pennies into riches than this space right here, doing it in a legal way. There's nothing else right now. And when that window closes, everybody's going to live with regret, and regret is the last thing you want to live with in your life. So
there would be folks that are glad they did, and there will be folks that wish they had. That sticks with me all the time. There will be folks that are glad they did. And there'll be folks that wish they had. And I don't want to be one of those folks that wish they had. I want to be one of those folks that are glad that they did. Whether they went through some negative or positive, it's a mindset thing too. I'm glad I went through every negative experience that I've ever went through, because I wouldn't be the BOJ that I am today without those things. You
Yeah.
wouldn't be the dap that you are today without those things, without
Facts.
the ex-wife story, without the adversity in the space, without, you know, raising 6 kids, without the upbringing that you had in Miami, and the things that, you know, having African parents, assimilating to American culture. All of these things help to build you to who you are today. So if we can all take account to some of the things that have happened in our own personal lives and think about where we are right now, I think we can give that adversity just a tiny bit of credit, as long as it didn't let us, you know, do something crazy that put us in jail for the rest of our lives or something like that. I think we can all
Hey,
say
I'm not built for jail, my brother. I am not built for jail. All right.
especially not with a
I
clean
spend
shaven face like that, dog, and
I
fresh out the gym,
I
dog. No, sir. You'd have all
hey,
types of nicknames in there. They'd be calling you Nutter Butter and
hey, the only hey, I spent enough time in jail in my house when my wife get mad at me. All right,
oh
that's the
man,
only jail that I want to be in. I don't want to be in no other jail.
and man, that jail ain't even close to worth it. I
You
almost
know?
rather be in the real jail than that jail.
Yeah, right. And that jail for me is because I care so much about the people. You care so much about the people.
Yeah,
They don't care about you,
yeah.
you know, and it's
What a
just
great problem to have, though. Like,
yeah,
you know, what a great problem when you really think about that as a person. Like, what a great problem to have is that you care too much about people in a
yeah.
world that doesn't seem to care a lot
Not
at
at
all.
all. Not at all. Not
So,
at all. So
brother, take
cool,
those
man.
problems every day of the week, man.
Absolutely, man.
Take those as a badge of honor. We love you, Dap. Thank you so
Thank
much
you, man.
for being on the show today.
Awesome.
I know we'll be talking later, but best of everything to you, and let's keep on rolling through this thing, man. Let's keep encouraging the people. Let's keep encouraging our communities and our capacities, and they know we're not running. They know where to find us. So anybody that really wants to holler, they know how to get in touch with us. So
Of course, absolutely.
my brother Dap, thank you so much. Everybody, don't forget to go and subscribe to not only Let's Dap It Up podcast, but the BTGI YouTube channel as well. We want to
BTGI, Bridge the Gap
BTGI.
International
That's right, Bridge the Gap International Network. We want to make sure that everybody is tied into DAP. If you have not subscribed to the BOJ channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Before you leave the room today, make sure you hit like, because it's going to help somebody else get the information that they missed out on live today. And we want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to get this information. And there's plenty of it. We was on here 2+ hours. All right. So there's plenty of stuff to digest, whether you got to take it piece by piece, whether you got to
take it.
Spread
all
it out.
All the YouTubers. Don't talk about what you don't know. Take the clips, put it wherever you want to put it. Tell some true facts and not speculation.
And listen, I won't even copyright strike you.
Yeah.
I won't even do it. I'll let YouTube do it. I won't do it. But
absolutely.
But thank you again so much, man. Oh, before we get out of here, make sure you put your 2FA on all the platforms that will allow you, and all of your wallets, because crypto is indeed the Wild Wild West, y'all. And if you ain't strapped with that security, you're bound to get hacked. Ask me how I know. It's not very fun at all. Now, if you like this content, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you want to be updated and notified about everything that's going on, including awesome sit-down talks like this, make sure you hit the notification bell as well. Please, sir, and please, ma'am, don't get scammed by the WhatsApp man. Don't get scammed by no Telegram girl. Don't get scammed by comment section Susie. Don't get scammed by those people, because one, they don't care about you, but two, if they get your information and get your crypto, there is absolutely nothing that I can do about it. There's nothing that DAP can do about it. So make sure
nothing that the government or the SEC could do about it. Nothing.
And they'll be sitting there looking at your transaction on the blockchain like, oh, yeah, you did it, but there's nothing we can do about it. So please stay diligent and vigilant in this space and in the comment section as well. All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you all for tuning in with us. DAP, once again, thank you guys. Make sure y'all wish DAP, tell him thank you for spending this time with us. We don't take it lightly, but anybody in the BOJ community, we already know how much we appreciate you, DAP. And anytime that you can be on with us, it's an awesome time. And let me know if you need me on your channel, if you need a little quick start to get things rolling or whatever you need, bro. You know I'm just a phone call or text away. just holler at me, man, and I'd love to return the favor that you have done for us. We've had our most turnout since the last time you was on. None of my lives do as well as when Dap Dunbar is in the building. It's almost like Uncle Shay Shay having Cat Williams.
Hey, Uncle Shay Shay is doing real well right now because of Cat Williams.
You know what I'm saying? I might have to pivot, get me a little couch in here, and start, you know, cracking open the cognac and asking some questions.
Hey, that's the world we live in.
Hey, man,
you know,
it is
right now. You know.
Shout out to Uncle Shay Shay if he sees it. If you want your boy BOJ on the show, just holler at me. I'll be up there in a quick second. I might even pay for myself to get there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Man, but that's
so
what
much.
it's about, man. Thank you.
Give my best to your family and everybody.
Same here.
I sure will. Thank you. And we'll see y'all on the next one. BOJ out.